Good morning, guys. I think I'm audible to you. Okay. So first of all, uh, thank you for sacrificing your holiday, right? And make sure to turn on the videos online, right? Hurry up. So quickly. So I want to see everyone. Turn on your videos, everyone. So guys, can you hear me? I'm audible to you online.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I want to see everyone quickly. No one is in here. Hello, Shini. How are you? Oh, right. So, welcome back to the seminar. Okay. So, let's start the seminar. And I know this is a holiday, but to sacrifice for your future, right? Okay. Now, why I choose this topic to you? This because this lesson is very much important to you. Understand? So, others, where are the others? Only two students with video. හරි රයිට් ක්ලාස් එකේ ඉන්න ළමයි ගානවත් නැත. ඒකට හේතුව මම දන්න සමහරු දාලා තිබ්බස අද පොඩ්ඩක් ට්‍රිප් යනවා නේ. අද ආච්චිලාගේ ගෙදර යනවා මං කිව්වා හරි කමන්නේ රෙකෝඩ් එක දෙනවා රෙකෝඩ් එක බලන්න කියලා. ඒකට හේතුව මේ මොකද මේක මම අද දවසට දාගත්තේ මොකද වෙන දෙන්න දවසක් නැහැ. ඉස්කෝලේ වෙලාව ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කරන්න බෑ නැත්තම කතන්ද. රයිට් ඒක නිසා. රයිට් හරි. Now when it comes to this lesson, now you know we have finished you in grade 10, right? Both of them. Right, okay. Now when it comes to this lesson, I have fully finished up to petty cash book. Okay, now you know petty cash book, it's really easy. Now bank account and bank reconciliation. Okay, so when it comes to bank account and bank reconciliation, so bank reconciliation is very much important to you. Then grade 11 students ලාත් කියන්නේ sir bank reconciliation එක අම තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒ concept එක හරියට තේරුම් ගන්න. Okay, you need to have a clear idea about the concept. That is the main concern. Okay, concept is the everything. Why? When it comes to corporate world, if you enter into any business place, once you enter into a business place, okay, the first task is preparation of bank reconciliation. Understand? Okay, then job එකකට යන්නම කියලා නීතියක් නැහැ. ඔයාගේ bank reconciliation එක හදාගන්න. මොකද ගොඩක් මම කලිනුත් කිව්වා ඊයේ ක්ලාස් එකෙත් කිව්වා. ඕගලන්ගේ ජීවිතයේ තියෙන ප්‍රධානතම ප්‍රශ්නේ තමයි ඉගෙන ගන්න දේවල් ප්‍රැක්ටිකලි ඇප්ලයි කරන්නේ බෑ. කරන්නේ නැහැ. ඒකයි ප්‍රශ්නේ. රයිට්? ඉතින් කොමර්ස් කියන සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක ඔයාලට 100% ප්‍රැක්ටිකල් ඇප්ලයි කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයාලට දැන් when it comes to bank reconciliation statement, we prepare for a current account. I think you know the concept called current account. You know the concept called current account? No. Right? Okay, I'll teach. But before that, I think everyone has a savings account. So monthly wise, you get your statement. What I know statement එකක් නේ නැත්නම් ඔයාලට දෙනවා ලොකු passbook එකක්. මේක අප්ඩේට් කරන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් අද කාලේ ඔයා ස්ටේට්මන්ට් එක කියවන්නේ නැහැ කියන්නේ උඹලා ඉන්නේ මොන කාලෙද? මලංගොඩ ආදිමානයගේ කාලේ ඊමේල් එකට ගෙන්න ගන්න නැත්නම් ස්ටේට්මන්ට් එක. නේද? දැනටමත් ඕන සේවිංස් account එකකට හදා ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඉතින් සේවිංස් account එකේ ස්ටේට්මන්ට් එකක් ඕගොල්ලන්ගේ ඊමේල් එකට එන්නේ නැත්නම් ටග් ගාලා ගෙදර ගිහිල්ලා අම්මලාට කියලා හදාගන්න බැංක් එකට කතා කරලා. ඒකට හේතුව ස්ටේට්මන්ට් එකක් අද කාලේ අර පාස්බුක් එක print කරන්නේ නැහැ. Right? So what is the important? You need to prepare a bank account in your site. Understand? You need to prepare your own bank account. Okay, I'll tell you how to prepare it. And bank also record your transaction. That is the term we call bank statement. Understand? Bank statement. හැම මාසෙම අපේ බැලන්ස් එකයි bank statement එකේ balance එකයි ජීවිතයට tally වෙන්නේ. Okay, we need to find the reasons and we need to identify the causes and we need to record. That is the thing we discuss in this lesson. Okay, everyone, I want to see everyone. I don't know why only 1 or 2 students with videos. It's really bad. Make sure to turn on the videos. So as a help, because I'm providing a free seminar, so you should turn on your videos. That is the main. Okay, right. So let's start from the lesson. So you will understand step by step. Okay, right. So quickly come to the textbook, page number 111. bank account and bank reconciliation. This is the things included in the seminar. Bank account, recording of cash deposits in the bank account, check deposits in the bank account, issuance of checks for payments, dishonoring of statement, bank's overdraft, and reconciliation statement. And I want to tell you, 100% I can't finish. For sure, honestly. Okay? තේරුණාද? අද මට 100%ක් ඉවර කරන්න බෑ. I'll try maximum at least 80%. 80 or 85. Rest of the things this Monday. So theory class, I'm going to finish. Understand? Okay, 6:30 to 8:30. Understand? Rest of the thing. Okay, you need, you can join or you can watch the recording Monday class. Understand? Right. So what is the plan? Now it's almost 8:50. Okay, now it's almost 8:50. Right. So what I'm going to do, I think you can. Brightness. Right. So now it's 8:50. Let's do up to 10 o'clock. Okay. So I'm going to give a break from up till 10:50. 10:15. Okay. So likewise. Now it's 8:50, right? 8:50 to 10 o'clock. Okay. And 10 o'clock to 10:15. Okay, so break. And again 10:15 to 11:30. Right? 11:30 to 11:40. Again break. Then 11:40 to 12:30. Understand? This is the plan. Okay, so you can get 2 breaks. Okay, right, let's start. Bank account and bank reconciliation. Right, what is the term called bank account? Now you know there are 6 type of parliamentary books in your textbook. What are the parliamentary book? Cash book. Okay, no, we have finished. Petty cash book. Done. Right? If you have any matter, you can unmute and tell me. Now the bank. Now you know when it comes to cash book and petty cash book, it perform dual function. Can you remember what is the term called? Dual function. Concern as a parliamentary book as well as a ledger account. Understand? You know when it comes to cash book format, it's very much similar to key account. Understand? Which means ledger account. Right? When it comes to petty cash book, it's also very much similar to ledger account, right? Similar like cash book and petty cash book, bank account also perform dual function. Understand? Dual function, which means concern as a parliamentary book as well as a ledger account. Now, what is this bank account? You know, in business world or in our bank side, we can open 3 types of bank accounts. You know, first one, savings account, then the fixed deposit, then the current account. Current, savings account, fixed deposit, and current account. Okay. In here, bank account means the current account. What is the difference between savings account, fixed deposit, and current account? Savings account, අද ඉපිදිච්ච පොඩි කෙට්ටුණක් පටන් ගන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයා දැකලා තියෙනවා අර ඉස්සර ජාතික රූපවාහිනියන ඇඩ් එකක් මොනවාද? අර බබෙක් ඉපදිලා කෑ ගහනවා, යාළුවෝ සෙට් එකක් උස්සන් දුවනවා, පාස්බුක් එකක් මහජන බැංකුවේ ඉසුරු දාන දැකලා තියෙනවා දරුවෙක්ට දිය හැකි නැනවත්ම තෑග්ග කියලා සේවිංස් account එකක් අද ඉපිදිච්ච කෙට්ටුණක් ඕපන් කරන්න ඒක උට යන්න බෑ. එයාගේ අම්මට හරි තාත්තට හරි ගිහලා එයාගේ නමින් ඕපන් කරන්න පුළුවන්. දැකලා තියෙනවා නේද? ඉතින් වයස් ભેදයක් නැහැ. ඕන එක්කෙනෙක්ගේ දියට පටන් ගන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි ඔයාට සේවිංස් account අවුරුදු 18 වෙනකන් සල්ලි විත්ඩ්‍රෝ කරන්න බෑ. එහෙම කතන්දරයක් තියෙනවා. right? but අවුරුදු 18න් පස්සේ තමයි විත්ඩ්‍රෝ කරන්න පුළුවන්. right? හැබැයි after 18 years you can withdraw even at midnight as well. You can go to the ATM and you can withdraw. okay? ඉස්සර වගේ පෝලිං වල ඉන්න ඕනේ. ඉස්සර එහෙම නේ 1900 ගණන් වල පෝලිං වල ඉන්න. When it comes to fixed deposit, you know what is the term called fixed deposit? Fixed deposit means you need to fix your money for a certain period of time. Understand? At least you need to invest 20,000, 50,000. It depends on the bank. intention. Understand? ඒ කියන්නේ සල්ලි දාලා කාලයක් ෆික්ස් කරලා තියෙනවා. තේරෙනවද? ඔයාලට ගන්න බෑ කාලයක් යනකම්. තේරෙනවද? සාමාන්‍යයෙන් ඔය පෙන්ෂන් යන අය මොකද කරන්නේ? එයාට පෙන්ෂන් නැද්දි EPF ETF හම්බ වෙනවා ලක්ෂ 10ක් විතර. කෝටියක් විතර හම්බ වෙනවා. තේරෙනවද? ෆික්ස් කරනවා. ෆික්ස් කරලා ළමයින්ගේ නමට පවර. අදිස්සියේ මම මැරුණොත් කාටද අයිති තියෙන්නේ? ළමයි. තේරෙනවද? But when it comes fixed deposit, we can withdraw the interest. That is the thing. We can withdraw the interest. Okay? එතකොට ලක්ෂ 10ක් FD දාලා මාසෙට 20000ක් 30000ක් අතට හම්බෙයි. ඉන්ට්‍රස්ට් එක විත්ඩ්‍රෝ කරලා කාලා බිල සැපෙයි. තේරෙනවද? බය වෙන දෙයක් නෑ. අතන ලක්ෂ 10ක් අතේ දිනනවා. අදිස්සියක් වුණොත් අපිට ගන්න. තේරෙනවද? ඉතින් ගොඩක් අය පෙන්ෂන් ගියාම කරන්නේ now when you, if you are now think now you need to open a fixed deposit. Now you visit your nearest bank. Okay, they ask the main question, sir, you need the interest, okay, monthly wise or maturity. Maturity එකේදී interest එක ඕනේ, monthly wise ද ඕනේ. maturity එකේ ගන්නත් පුළුවන්. ඔයාලට දැන් ආරම්භ කරනවා නම් ඔයාලට දැන් FD එකක් පටන් ගන්නවා නම් ඒ කියන්නේ interest එක cumulatively at the end of the maturity period. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයා fix කරන time period එක ඉවර වෙන දවසේ තමයි interest එක ඔක්කොම හම්බෙන්නේ පුළුවන්. එහෙම ගන්නත්. එතකොට interest එක පොඩ්ඩක් වැඩි, monthly ගන්නවට වැඩි. Understand? Right? So even you can be fix your money for 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, 1 year. It depends on your perspective, right? So when it comes to interest, fixed deposit interest is higher than savings account. Now this is the topic. Current account. Current account. Current account means most of the time businessman needs current account. Understand? Okay. If you start a current account, what you can get, you can obtain a what is the thing you can obtain? You can obtain a checkbook. That is the thing I need to take. මොකද්ද ඔයාලට හම්බෙන්නේ? checkbook එක. තේරුණාද? තේරුණාද? Right. Okay. Wait, I'm going to show it to බලමු. I think you can see this checkbook. පේනව නේද? පේනව නේද checkbook එක? Right? මේ මගේ යාළුවෙක්ගේ checkbook එක මම ෆොටෝ එකක් ගහලා ඉවි. මම දැන් ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ අම්මට හරි තාත්තට හරි ඇති. තේරෙනවද? ඊට අමතරව වඩා checkbook එක මේ තියෙන මෙන්න මේ වගේ. මේක පොඩක් අනිත් පැත්ත හරවන්න ඕනේ, හැරෙන්න බෑ. ඉතින් checkbook එකක්. මේ checkbook එකේ මේ තියෙන check එකක්. text දැකලා තියෙනවා ඇති ගොඩක් දුරට චෙක් බුක් චෙක් එකක් දැකලා ඇති. මේ චෙක් බුක් එකේ තියෙනවා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් 50 නේද? So even 50 or 20 check leaves. This is the check book. I think you can see the check. Is it clear? This facility only for current account holders. Now if you open a savings account, you will get a passbook. If you open a FD, you will get a certificate. Okay. Once you open a current account, what you can obtain? A checkbook. Okay. What is the main purpose of checkbook? To do your payments. Understand? To do your payments. Right? Okay. Now, savings account, you can obtain a interest. Fixed deposit, you can obtain interest higher than savings account. But when it comes to current account, no any interest. Current account balance එකට interest එකක් හම්බෙන්නේ නැත. exam paper එකේ ලොකු question එක. right? ඒක හැමදාම අහන්න. No interest for current account holder. Right. Now this is the thing we are going to discuss. Today we are going to discuss this bank account. So this bank account means current account. Where you can open a current account, you can open a current account only in licensed commercial banks. Right. Quickly come to my tute. Lesson number 9. Right. So bank account. So many businesses do transaction not only in currency, cash and coins, but also by checks. Right. Print out office. Right. To transaction using check. It is necessary to open a current account in a commercial bank, licensed commercial bank. The bank account holder receive a checkbook when a current account is open. Once you open a current account, what you can obtain a checkbook. Understand? Business prepare an account called bank account to record transaction carried out through the bank current account. Okay? So business prepare me then. Businesses prepare an account called bank account to record the transactions carried out through bank current account. The bank account is an asset account. Now what bank account represent? Our bank money. Understand? We prepare the bank account, which means our business. Okay? Right. So that because the bank account represents the business's bank money, the bank money in the current account that only belongs to the business. So it's an asset of the business. Accordingly, the bank account, like the cash book and petty cash book, belongs to the type of asset account of the business. So the double entry rule relates to asset should be taken into account while recording the transactions carried out to bank account. You know, similar like cash book and petty cash book, bank account also an asset account. අපේ සල්ලිනේ තියෙන bank account. අපි record තියන්නේ. බැංකුවේ වෙනකම්ම බලන් ඉන්න බෑ. අපිත් record තියනවා. හැබැයි ජීවිතේට tally වෙන්නේ නැහැ. example එකක් කියන බැංකුවේ bank මං ගිය සතියේ කිව්ව මොනවද? bank charges. බැංකුව කෝල් එකක් දීලා හලෝ 50ක් කපා ගන්නද? කමන්නේ නේද? තරහ නැහැ නේද? කියලා කෝල් කර කර කියන්නේ උන් ටක් ගාලා කපා ගන්න. එහෙනම් එතකොට statement එකේදී අපි record කරලා නැහැ. bank එක record කරලා තියෙනවා. This is the difference. Not only that, there are 5 types of difference in your level, right? Okay, additional note. So most of the time in your examination, so okay, they will ask about underline the current licensed commercial bank out of these banks, right? So I search the central bank website, okay, then so there are 24 licensed commercial banks in, right? So there are 3 types of account where a person can deposit his excess money. They are current account, savings account and fixed deposit. Savings account and fixed deposit from the above account type can be opened in every bank. ඕන බැංකුවක පුළුවන් savings with fixed deposit open කරන්න. හැබැයි current account තියෙන licensed commercial banks වල. For an example, NSB, National Savings Bank, National Savings Bank. It's not a current licensed commercial bank. Why we name it as a licensed commercial bank? Central bank issue a special license to license commercial bank to maintain current. Understand? දැන් ඔයා හිතනතර commercial බැංකුව කියන්නේත් එක වර්ගයේ license commercial bank එකක් තමයි. අර නිල් පාට බැංකුව. දැකලා තියෙනවනේ. ඒකත් එක license commercial bank එකක් තමයි. right? okay. දැන් ඔයා save NSB එකට ගිහිල්ලා current account open කරන්න අහන්න එපා. කනපැලෙන් එකක් දෙයි. දැන් දන්න. තේරෙනවද? NSB එකට ගිහිල්ලා ඔයාලට current account එකක් open කරන්න. right? So institutional banks that provide various banking services required by the business by maintain all 3 types of accounts, namely current account, savings account and fixed deposit, are called commercial bank. These are called licensed commercial because they operate under a license issued by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka. Okay? Central Bank is the main authority. කලින් හිටියනේ අජිත් නිවත් කප්ඩාල් කියලා මහත්තයා. ප්‍රශ්න ගොඩක් වුණේ. දැන් ඉන්න හොඳ එක්කෙනෙක් අජිත් නන්දලාල් කියලා. එයා තමයි ලොක්කා නේ. දැන් නම් ටිකක් control වෙලා තියෙන Central Bank එකේ තමයි ලංකාවේ financial activities ඔක්කොම monitor කරන්නේ. right? okay. So the bank account lesson only discuss current account maintaining licensed commercial bank. As on 30th June 2023, there are 24 licensed commercial bank in Sri Lanka. Some of them are given me. Some of them නේ මම 24ම දාලා තමයි මේ මම්ම තමයි මේ පින්තූරය. මං කිව්වේ. ඉතින් ඔක්කොම පාඩම් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ නිකන් බලාගන්න. එයාට බලාගන්න. දැන් ඔයා මේ නම් එක පාඩම් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. විභාග 1 2 යන්නේ. So there are 24 licensed commercial bank. These are the licensed. You know, the popular banks, BOC, Sampath, understand? You know, People's Bank, right? So not only that, Commercial Bank, Union Bank, DFC, count there are 24. Even now, HSBC, it's Hong Kong and Shanghai, right? So HSBC, no, yeah. So Indian Bank, maybe Lankaවට අයිතිව නෙමෙයි, ownership in another different country, but they operate in Sri Lanka as well, right? State Bank of China, Bank of China, like that. Okay, so most of the business like to conduct transactions in textbook, page number 112. Most business like to conduct cash transactions conveniently and securely by opening a current account. The bank account and the cash book are considered as asset account. The bank account and cash book are considered as asset account. Therefore, when the business are carried out through the bank current account, they should be recorded according to the double entry principle called asset. Now, you need to understand this very much clearly. Okay, listen to this carefully. Right? What is the main reason? What is the main concern? You need to understand this very much. Right? Now you know, this is my business. Okay, I'm going to open the licensed commercial bank. Sorry, I'm going to open a current account. In a licensed commercial bank, I'm going to open a current account in Sampath Nugegoda Bank. Sampath Bank, Nugegoda branch. Right? Sampath Bank. Once I open a current account in, I think my business name is ABC Business. Okay, what I can obtain? I can obtain a checkbook. Checkbook. What I can obtain? I can obtain a checkbook. තියාගෙන කන්නේ. කන්න. කොල කාලා මෙහෙම යම් රොකට් එකක් හදලා යවන්න මොකද්ද චෙක් පොතේ තියෙන වැදගත්? You can issue checks for your payment. This is the most important thing in business world. Then body business එකක් ගැන හිතන්න එපා. Think about a large scale business. They do transactions worth of 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, right? Then 1 million payment එකක් කරන්න. suitcase 10ක විතර උස්සගෙන bodyguardලා දෙන්නෙක් විතර වට කරගෙන නේද? ගියොත් එහෙම මල කෙලියක් එන්නේ නේ කවුරු රොබරියක් දීලා උස්සන්න. So because of that, what is the importance of checkbook? I can issue check for payments. Understand? That is the thing. That is the main. So I can issue a check. Okay. So what I can do in here, you know, quickly come to this picture. This one. Okay. You can see the picture in here. This is the checkbook. You know, this is whose business is this? This is Yuganta's business. One of my friends. Okay. Yuganta. Okay. He maintains a current account in Sampath Bank, Nugegoda branch. Okay. Now, once what he can do using this check. Okay. So he does issue checks. Understand? Okay. He can issue checks. In pay side, he should write pay's name. To whom I should issue the check. කාටද ලියන්න ඕනේ? එයාගේ නමට ලියනවා නම් බිස්නස් එකේ නමට නම් දාන්න පුළුවන්. Okay? Date එක. ඔන්න ඕක ඊළඟ important එක. Can anyone tell me okay the validity time period of a check? Anyone? මං කිව්වා. Valid time period of a check? 6 months from the date. 6 months. Check එක ලියන දවස් ඉඳන් කීයක් කොච්චර කාලයක් වෙලිද? 6 months. Understand? Right? So now I need to write the amount in here words, amount in rupees in using words in here, and I need to put my signature in here. Understand? This is the thing. Right? So what I want to tell you, this is the main thing. Okay? Right? Once I issue check, okay, I can issue checks. Now think this is one of my supplier. Okay. Now I issue 1 million worth of check to this supplier. Okay. 1 million worth of check to this supplier. His name is Amal. 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 Right. So I need to write the name in payee. In payee, I need to write Amal. Again, Amal ki නිකන් සම්පූර්ණම ඕනේ නැහැ හිතන්න මොනවාද අබේසිංහ පටබැඳිගේ අමල් එහෙම ඕනේ නැහැ. එයාගේ බැංක් account එකේ තියෙන නම ලියන්න ඕනේ. right? දැන් අමල් මේක තියාගෙන වැඩක් නැහැ. අමල් ගිහිල්ලා මොකද කරන්න ඕනේ? අමල් ගිහිල්ලා දෙන්න ඕනේ අමල්ගේ බැංක් එකට. Amal should present this to Amal's bank. Okay? Amal's bank. Think Amal's bank is BOC Nugegoda. BOC Nugegoda. Okay? BOC Nugegoda. Now you know banks also interconnected. Banks also interconnect. This Sampath Bank and BOC Bank also connected through Lanka clearance. Lanka clearance. මොකද මේගොල්ලන්ට access නැහැනේ. මේගොල්ලන්ට access නැහැ. BOC එකට නැහැනේ සම්පත්තික access. තේරෙනවද? Two separate banks, right? So once BOC Nugegoda hand over this to Lanka clearance, they contact Sampath Bank and check whether the balance available in ABC business. Understand? ABC business. And they also present the check. So once Sampath Bank check the this check validity and available funds in the ABC business, okay, if the transaction is okay, so Sampath Bank transfer the funds to Amal's bank account. Understand? This is how it works. Okay, so once they clearly check all the documents and all the funds available in the ABC business bank account, so what Sampath Bank does, they transfer the funds to Amal's bank. Understand? That is how it works. Okay, නිකන් check එකක් කියන්නේ කොල කෑල්ල. තේරෙනවද? කොල කෑල්ලෙන් අපිට පුළුවන් payments කරන්න. Okay, not only that, so what are the other things we can obtain once we open a current account? You know, this is a current account. Not only that, first one, you know, we can issue checks for payment from our business perspective. I'm going to discuss from my business perspective. Right? My business is ABC business, right? So I can issue checks for payments. Not only that, I can give order for I can give orders for standing orders. What is the term for standing orders? Standing orders. Well, standing order again. I can give a written letter, okay, to the bank, okay, by stating, now think you need to do some payments regular basis. What are samahara payments monthly wise හැමදාම කරන්න. So think about like a payment of insurance, right? Payment of rent, understand? Likewise, it's too hard to transfer the funds regularly, monthly wise. හැම මාසෙම මගේ account එකෙන් කපලා මම අරුගේ account එකට දාන්න. හැම මාසෙම කරන්න බෑ. හදිස්සි අමතකුනොත් මේ මල ගෙලියන්න. So I can issue a written letter to the bank stating every month on this day deduct my funds from my account and deposit that and remit that funds to Tinkle, let's take Amal's account. So every month now bank deduct funds from my account and deposit those funds to Amal's account. අපි කියනවා මේ 18 කරගත්තොත් එimhe හැමදාම හැම මාසෙම ස්ටෑන්ඩින් ඕඩර් එකක් කරන. ඒතර මම කියනවනේ මට දෙන්න ඕනේ මේ ටයිම් එකේ ඉඳන් මේ ටයිම් එක. මට ඒක එපා නම් මම ආයි ડોකියුමන්ට් එකක් දෙනවා මේක දැන් ස්ටොප් කරන්න. තේරෙනවද? එහෙම කරාම හැම මාසෙම කරන්න ඕනේ. So I can issue checks for payment. I can issue standing orders, right? Standing. Not only that, once I open a current account, what is the other benefit I get? Overdraft facility. Overdraft facility. That is the very much important thing in your level. Why? This overdraft facility only in current account, not in savings account and fixed deposit. Understand? You should have a clear idea about what is the term called overdraft. Right? Now I'm going to discuss this one. මේක ඉස්සරහා තියෙන දැම්ම ඉවරයක් කරගන්නවා. ඒතර ගණන් ටික තමයි ඩඩ ගඩ ගාලා හදාගෙන යන්න තියෙන්නේ. ඉස්සරහා තියෙන කෑල්ලක් දැම්ම කරා. තේරෙනවද? දීපාන්දර පටන් ගත්ත ඒතර කම්මැලි නෑ. මම දන්නවා 10 වෙද්දී උඹලා ඩව්. right? ඒ නිසා මේ දැම්ම මේ ටික කියලා දීලා ඔලුවට දැම්මම ගණන් ටික තමයි හදන්න තියෙන්නේ. right? Okay. Now what is the term called overdraft? Now think this is the business and this is the bank. Now think I don't know how much in my bank account the balance available. Okay, so think my balance is 100,000 bank. I don't know, right? So I don't know. So I want to issue a payment, I want to transfer funds to this thing. This is a ABC business. This is a Sunil. I want to give 150 rupees to this. What I am going to do, I am going to issue a check. දැන් මතකදී මම කිව්වා above petty cash level payments we can do using checks. Understand? Can you remember? Above petty cash level, think above petty cash level payment, right? Okay. The amount is 150,000, right? 150. Okay, I'm going to issue a check. Check එකක් ලියලා දෙනවා. සුනිල් මේක තියාගෙන කන්නේ. සුනිල් ගිහලා සුනිල්ගේ බැංක් එකට. Okay. තියන්න සුනිල් ගිහලා සුනිල්ගේ බැංක් එක දුන්නාම සුනිල්ගේ බැංක් එක මොකද කරන්නේ? මේකත් එක්ක ඩිස්කස් කරලා බලන්න. Right? Okay. So now how much in my bank account? 100,000, right? But I need to transfer funds from my account to Sunil account. How much? How much? From my account to Sunil's account, how much? 150. 50,000 is deficit. Okay, right? 50,000 month. Now, what think my bank is BOC, right? So, my bank now දැන් මේ මගේ බැංකුව මොකද කරන්නේ? They observe, they check, they investigate about my previous transactions, previous history. Okay? මම හොඳ businessman කෙනෙක්ද? මගේ account එකේ හැමදාම සල්ලි තියෙනවා. ඉතර මිලියන ගණන් වලින් සල්ලි ගිහිල්ලා තියෙනවනේ. මම බලනවා නිකන් අර හොඳ යහපත් පුරවැසියෙක්ද මම වගේ. තේරෙනවද? right? හොඳට check කරලා බලනවා. මගේ අතීතේ යට ගිය ඔක්කොම බලනවා. right? අවුලක් නැහැ. සමහරට මේ දවස්වල මොකක් කර හිර වෙලා නිසා මෙයාගේ account එකේ සල්ලි නැති වෙලා තියෙන්න ඇති කියලා. So bank එක මොකද කරන්නේ? එයාගේ අතින් 50,000ක් දාන. right? තේරෙනවද? මෙයාගේ account එකට කීයක්ම දාන? 150. okay? දැන් මගේ account එකේ තිබ්බ 100,000. This is from bank money. Totally 150,000 transfer to Sunil. If I am a good customer of this bank. If not, they won't issue this 50,000. Understand? Right? This 50,000 is the bank over. Which means from the business point of view, this is a liability to the business. Understand? Okay? Bank issue this 50,000 and they again then bank එක මොකද කරන්න ඕනේ? මේ 50,000 නිකන් දීලා කටවාගෙන හිටියාම මරුවට තියෙන්නේ. 50,000 නිකන් දීලා කටවාගෙන ඉන්න බෑ. බැංක් එකේ වෙනවා මට නෝට් එක, ලෙටර් එකක්. Hello. So Mr. ABC business, okay? So since you are a good customer of our bank, okay? They write the whole scenario. Okay? So you had only 100,000 but you presented 150,000 worth of payment. Right? අපි අතින් දාලා 50,000ක් දාලා අපි ඒක ගෙව්වා. Within 2 weeks quickly settle this balance. Understand? Within 2 weeks. And also not only that, we need to now they charge an interest as well. Charge an interest. This is like a temporary loan for business transaction. This OD should approve. If they approve, so this is only for 2 weeks, 3 weeks like that. Within 3 weeks, we need to reimburse. If not, they will charge interest as well as plus penalty. Understand? This is for temporary funds requirement. So what are the benefits? We can issue checks for payments. We can do standing orders. We can do overdraft. Understand? Right? So what are the other benefits? Once we open a current account, not only that, we can collect remittance. Collect remittances. What is the term for remittances? Collect remittances. The others, are you there? So I can see everyone. Huh? What is the term called correct remittances? This facility also in savings account as well, right? Collect remittance. What is remittances? දැන් ඔයා ඉන්නේ නුගේගොඩ. ඔයා කාට හරි අම්පාරින් එක්කෙනෙක්ට දෙනවා. right? අම්පාරින් එක්කෙනෙක්ට මොනවා හරි goods transport කරනවා vehicle. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් දුන්න ගමන්ම සල්ලි දෙන්නේ නැහැ. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට business transactions වෙන්නේ credit basis. දැන් හිතන්න මම කලිනුත් කිව්වා think about Munchie. okay? දැන් ඒගොල්ලෝ පිටි ගද්දි කිලෝ එක බෑග් වල අරන් එන්නේ නැහැ. මලකෙලියක් එන්නේ එහෙම උණු. ඒගොල්ලෝ ගද්දි එකපාර රොරි එක ගන්නවා ටොන් ගන්න. එනද බිස්කට් හදා. ගත්ත ගමන් දඩස් ගාලා චෙක් එකක් ලියලා දෙන්න බෑනේ. මලකෙලියක් එන්නේ හදිසියේ ගත්ත පිටි පුල්ලෝ ගහලා. අපි ලැබ් එකට යවලා චෙක් කරලා ඔක්කොම කරලා තමයි සල්ලි දෙන්නේ. ඒකට දවස් දෙක තුනක් යනවා. ගත්ත ගමන් බඩු දෙන්නේ නැහැ. සල්ලි දෙන්නේ නැහැ. corporate world එක දැන්. When it comes to your perspective, now customer should pay on time. Okay? When the transaction happens. But when it comes to business transaction, most of the time on credit basis. It takes time for the payment, right? So because we need to check and we need to get the signatures, likewise we need to write the check. So many things. Understand? Right. So what I want to tell you, what is the term called correct remittances? දැන් ඔයා දෙනවා බඩු අම්පාරින් එක්කෙනෙක්ට බඩු දීලා එන්න. දැන් අම්පාර එක්කෙනාට පුළුවන් ද ආයි චෙක් එකක් උස්සන් කොළඹ දුවගෙන එන්න. අම්පාරින් එක්කෙනාට කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයාගේ account number ඉල්ලන් සල්ලි transfer. තේරෙනවද? So bank collect my money on behalf of myself to the bank. My bank account. Understand? That is the facility called collect remittance. ඉතින් ඕක දිනවා savings account එකක්. ඔයගොල්ලෝ අපිට class fees transfer කරන්නේ මේ වගේ තමයි. Right? Collect remittance. Right? So these are the main things. There are more things. These are the main benefits. What is the term? Now you know everything. Okay? So what are the benefits? Issue checks for payments. Right? And the other thing, we can do standing orders. Right? Standing orders. And overdraft. This is very much important. This is standing orders and overdraft only in saving current accounts, not in fixed deposit and savings. Understand? Right? So and we can collect remittances. And this issue of checks for payments only in current accounts as well. Right? Now you know the whole scenario. Right? Now we need to understand how to account these things. Right? So, right. Now quickly come to the textbook. Right. Let us understand how the transactions that are conducted through bank account are recorded in a business. So before moving to that, I'm going to teach you how we record and how bank record. First one. Now think this is my business and this is my bank. Okay? Right? So I should maintain a bank account to record my transaction. Similar like our business, bank also record our transaction. Sometimes either you may have seen the bank statement. It's not like a ledger account. It's like a statement. දැකලා තියෙනවා. අම්මගේ හරි තාත්තගේ හරි bank statement එක. දැකලා නැත්නම් ඉල්ලම් බලපල්ලා නැත්නම් වැඩක් නැහැ ඉඳලා. තේරෙනවද? bank statement එකක් දැකලා නැත්නම්. right? So ඒකේ තියෙන්නේ කොහොමද? debit, credit, balance. Right? Understand? This is my bank account. So think my business is ABC. This is BOC. What I want to tell you, this is how bank record my transaction. Bank name ABC, bank statement. Bank statement. Right? Now what I want to tell you, I maintain my bank account using asset principle. Is it clear to you? What is the principle we use? Asset. Because bank money belongs to the business. This belongs to my business. It's an asset to the business. But how bank record my transaction using liability principle. Ai අනුන්ගේ සල්ලි නේ අකෝ තියාගෙන. කාංගිරිකතේ. දැන් අද උදේ මට ආහා පුරා කියලා සෙමින එක පටන් ගන්න කලින් මට ආව දීපාන්දර සතුරුදායක මැසේජ් එකක්. People's Bank doing. Your account has been debited 200 rupees as monthly charge. Monthly bank charge. හරි සතුටු. මොකද්ද? බැංකුව 200ක් මගෙන් කපාගෙන Once we deposit cash or checks in the bank account, then on accounts තියෙන විදිය හොඳට අහගන්න. I should debit it. Okay. Once I deposit bank, once I deposit checks in the bank, I should debit it. දැන් ලාච්චුවේ තියෙන සල්ලි හැමදාම ලාච්චුවේ තියාගෙන ඉන්න බෑ. ඊළඟ මොකද කරන්න ඕනේ? බැංකුවේ දාන්න. Think I deposit 100 rupees worth of cash. What is the double entry? Cash book credit bank account. Okay, ලාච්චුවේ සල්ලි අඩු වෙලා බැංකුවේ සල්ලි. Okay, cash book credit bank account debit. Now this is the accounting part. Listen to this carefully. කම්මැලි වෙන්න එපා. Okay, first one. Once I deposit my cash in the bank account, what is the double entry? Cash book credit bank account. Is it clear to you? Right? මොකද ලාච්චුවේ සල්ලි අඩු වෙලා බැංකුවේ සල්ලි. Now when it comes to once I receive a check, දැන් මම check පොතක් තියාගෙන payments කරා වගේම කවුරු හරි වෙන එක්කෙනෙක් මට දෙන්න තියෙන සල්ලි මට checks වලින් දෙන්න. ඒක මම තියාගෙන කන්නේ මං ගිහලා බැංකුවේ දාන්න එපා. එතකොට මට සල්ලි හම්බෙන්නේ අර මං කිව්ව procedure. Right? මං කාට හරි තව business එකකට බඩු දුන්නා මේගොල්ලෝ මට check එකක් දෙනවා. I can now receiving a check we can categorize into two. Listen to this very much clear. I already discussed these, right? First one, deposit the check on the same date, okay? Deposit the check in a different day. Again, සමහර business check එක හම්බෙච්ච දවසේම ගිහිල්ලා එදා හවසම දානවා කොහෙද? බැංක් එකේ. ඊළඟ ඩිපොසිට් කරනවා. හැබැයි සමහර පොඩි business check එක හම්බෙන දවසේම ගිහලා බැංකුවේ දාන්නේ නැහැ. හැම එක හම්බෙනාම check එක ගන්න උස්සන් ගිහලා බැංකුවේ දූපන්. එපා වෙනවා. දවස් දෙක තුනක් check එක ඔක්කොම collect කරලා locker එකේ තියාගෙන ඉඳලා දවස් 3කට පාරක් ගිහලා තමයි deposit කරන්නේ. තේරෙනවද? Right? So we can categorize into two. Deposit on the same day, deposit on a later day. Understand? Right? So if we deposit the checks in a later date, okay, till we deposit it, we can record it in the cash. cash draw එකේ නෙමෙයි. තේරෙනවද? වෙන දවසක නම් deposit කරන්නේ. Deposit කරන දවස වෙනකන් අපි කොහෙද තියාගන්න ඕනේ? Cash book එකේ. Now think. So I received 200 worth of check, okay? 200 worth of checks from 200 worth of a check from ABC debtor. ABC debtor. කාගෙන්ද හම්බුනේ? debtor ABC. debtor ABC ගෙන් සල්ලි හම්බෙන්න නම් debtorට අපි කලින් sale එකක් කරලා දෙන්න වෙන්නේ නැත්තම් නිකන් ඌ ගෙනල්ලා දෙන්නේ නැහැ. තේරෙනවද? Okay, first transaction should be credit sales. You know the transaction of credit sales. Sales account credit 200. Debtors ABC debtor account debit 200. This is the first transaction. Right? දැන් ගියා මට ගෙනල්ලා දුන්න check එක. මම deposit කරන්නේ එදානේ මේකවද පස්සේ දවස්. Right? So what is the double entry I should use? I should debit cash book. Cash book debit 200. Debtor ABC debtor account credit 200. Now it's close. ඒක වැහිලා. තේරුණාද? ඇයි check එක හම්බෙලා කොහෙද මේ තියාගෙන ඉන්නේ? cash book එකට debit කරනවා කියන්නේ ලාච්චු. දැන් හැමදාම ලාච්චුයි තියන් හිටියා මගේ account එකට සල්ලි වැටෙන්නේ. මං දැන් ගිහිල්ලා bank account එකේ දාන්න. Cash book credit bank account debit 200. Is it clear to you now? We can identify 4 double entries. Four entries, which means only 2 double entries. Understand? So this is the initial transaction, original transaction, credit sales. Don't think about that. So once he hand over check, what is the double entry? Cash book debit, debtors account. Once we deposit it, cash book credit, debtors account, cash book credit, bank account. Deposit කරන දවස්. තේරෙනවද? තේරෙනවද? හැබැයි මම එදා දැන් මේ cash book එකේ ලියවෙන්නේ temporarily. තාච්චුවේ තියාගෙන ඉන්නකම්. තාච්චුවෙන් අයින් කරපුවාම cash book එකේ අයින්. තේරෙනවද? Right? තේරෙනවද? හොලන්නේ නැහැ. Right? Now the second type. I'm going to again discuss this one. Right? So like in here, now think debtor ABC same one is sales account. දැන් මං හිතන්නේ එයාට මුලින්ම credit sale එකක් කරලා තියෙන්නේ එයා check එකක් දෙන්න. නේද? debtor ABC account debit 200 sales account credit 200. This is the original transaction. දැන් එයා මට ගෙනලා check එකක් දුන්නා. මම හම් වෙච්ච ගමන් දුවගෙන ගිහලා එදාම බැංකුවේ දාන්න. පස්සේ තියාගන්න. දෙන්නත්. පස්සේ දෙන්නේ නැහැ. දැන් මට cash book කියලා ලියන්න ඕනේ. කෙලින්ම එදා ගිහලා බැංකුවේ දාන්න. So what is the double entry? What is the double entry? Debtor ABC account credit 200. We don't need to record it in the bank account. We don't need to record it in the cash book. We can debit it to the bank. No need to record this in the temporary cash book. Cash book කියලා යන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. තේරෙනවද? අය හම්බෙච්ච දවසේම කියලා දාන්න. ඔන්නේ දෙවිදිහක් කියන්නේ. එදාම දානවනම් bank account debit ABC account credit. Okay? හැබැයි වෙන දවසක නම් දාන්නේ what is the double entry? What is the double entry? Cash book debit debtors account credit. When we deposit it, cash book credit bank account. Is it clear to you? Right? Now I think you are okay with these things. First one, deposit of cash in the bank. ලාච්චුවේ තියෙන සල්ලි දැන් ඔන්න accounts වලට එන්නේ. හොඳට අහගන්න. First one. Right. හොඳට අහගන්න. කම්මැලි නෑ නේද? කම්මැලිද? කම්මැලි වෙලා කොහොමද ලෝකේ ජය ගන්නේ? නේද? මැසේජ් නම් තියෙනවා හිටු ගාලා පොඩ්ඩක්. දාන්න එපා. බලන්නත් වෙදී. කො බලන්න උදේට කාලා දින්නේ. බඩගිනිද? නෑ නේ. බඩගිනිනක් කරන්න දෙයක් නෑ. එක දවසක් බඩගිනි හිටිය කියලා මැරෙන්නේ නෑ නේද? ඇත්ත. දැන් අද මේ නෑ සමහරු බය නැති සීල් ගන්න දෙන්නෙත් නෑ. මෙයා හරි කරදරේ. නේද? එපා වෙනවා. කියලා බැන නැති කමන්නේ එක දවසක්. නේද? අට්ටි ඉන්නව නේද? So what I want to tell you, this lesson is very much important to your practical life as well. Okay? So you need to maintain your own bank account as well. ඔයත් ඔයාගේම bank account එකක් හදා ගන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම නැත්තම් වැඩක් නැහැ. දැන් ඔයා ඔයාගේ petty cash එකක් හදා ගන්නවද නැහැ? වැඩක් නැහැ නේ බං කොමර්ස් එකේ. මොකටද කොමර්ස් ගන්න? වෙන subject එකක් කරාන ඉවරයි. ඔයාට cash book එකක් හදා ගන්න වැඩක් නැහැ. දැන් මං ගිය මාසේ cash book එක හැදුවා. මාසේ month end එකේ මගේ purse එකේ තියෙන සල්ලි මගේ cash book එකට ඇලි වෙනවා. ඊට කලින් මාසේ right cash book එකේ closing balance එකයි මගේ purse එකේ තියෙන සල්ලි balance වෙන්නේ 1000 difference එකක් තියෙනවා. හරිද 1000. දැන් මං 17 කල්පනා කරනවා මොකද උනේ? බැලින්ද යාළුවෙට 1009ට දුන්නා. ඒක මම රෙකෝඩ් කළා. තේරෙනවද? ඉතින් වැඩක් නැහැ නේ. ඔයගොල්ලන්ට හදිස්සි කවුරු හරි purse එකෙන් රුපියල් 500ක් හොරගම් කරලා ගියත් උඹලා දන්නේ නැහැ. වැඩක් නැහැ. right first දැන් අම්මටත් කියන්න හදාගන්න. අම්මට කියන්න එපා. ඔයගොල්ලෝ කිව්වොත් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට හොරෙන් සල්ලි උස්සන්න බෑනේ නේ. අම්මා හැදුවොත් එන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට එක ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෙමෙයි. right ඒ නිසා වැඩක් නැහැ. ඉතින් cash book එකක් හදන්න නැත්නම් petty cash book එකක් හදන්න නැත්නම් මම කල්ලුත් කිව්වා. මම කාලයක් petty cash book එකක් හැදුවා මගේ මුල්ම කාලේ. මේ එක මාසයක් petty cash book එකේ බලද්දි මගේ reload දාලා තියෙන frequency එක වැඩි. reload දාලා තිනවා month එකට 1500ක්. පස්සේ මම තීරණය කරා monthly package එකට වෙනස් වෙනවා. ඇයි monthly package එකට ගියාම අවුලක් නැහැ. ඒතර monthly package එක තිබ්බේ 888. Airtel වල තිබ්බ අර 888 එකක් තියෙනවා නේද? ඒක worth නේ. ඉතින් අතන මම 100 කැලේ 1500 එකක් දානවා. So like us we can do an analysis and we can shift our daily routine. Okay, we can change it. Right, first one, deposit of cash in the bank. A specified amount of cash has to be deposited to open a current account, right? So in addition, cash received by the business would be deposited in the current account. Okay, now you know what in here deposit in the cash in the bank account. We can identify deposit in the cash in the bank account using two ways. First one, to start a current account, initially we need to deposit cash. Understand? Secondly, okay, so when the cash book excess the cash limit, okay, so we should deposit the excess cash in bank account. පළවෙනි පාර ගිහිල්ලා ඕපන් කරද්දි දාන්න ඕනේ. දෙවෙනි පාර ලාච්චුවේ සල්ලි පිරෙන්න ගිහිල්ලා දාන්න. තේරෙනවද? right? ඒකද ඊට පස්සේ ආයි හැම මාසෙම යන්නේ මොකද? අර බලාච්චුයි පිරෙන්න කියලා දාන සල්ලි ටික තමයි දාන්නේ. right? So when a business deposit cash in the current account, the balance in the current account increases and the cash balance decreases. Understand? The double entry for deposit cash in the bank, cash as follows, you know. This is recorded by ourselves, not by the bank, not from the bank's perspective, right? So cash account debit, bank account, sorry, cash account credit, bank account, right? Why? Bank account asset increase, cash account cash asset, right? So in from our perspective, right? So when depositing cash, a deposit slip has to be completed and submitted along with cash to the bank, right? The banks return a duplicate of the deposit slip to the business depositor immediately. This document is used as the source document for recording of the cash deposit. This is very much important to you guys at first one. Now you know this from our business. When we receive cash from an external party, what is the source document we should receive? Can you remember? දැන් ඔයා කඩේට ගිහිල්ලා මොන හරි ගත්තොත් කීල්ස් එකෙන් ඔයාට දෙනවනේ මොකක් හරි එකක් නේ. thank you කියලා ඒගොල්ලෝ මොනවද දෙන්නේ? receipt එක. නේද? දැන් ඔයාගේ business එකෙන් ඔයා කාට හරි check එකක් හරි cash හරි ඔයා අපි කලින් ඔයා කතා කරා. issue කරද්දී ඔයා මොකද්ද දාන source document එක? payment voucher. payment voucher. දැන් ඔයා bank එකට ගිහිල්ලා සල්ලි deposit කරනවා. okay? bank එකට ගිහිල්ලා සල්ලි deposit. බැංකුවට ගිහිල්ලා මොකක් හරි කොල කෑල්ලක් දුන්නොත් ආ මේකත් තියාගන්න කියලා දුන්නොත් උන් කන පැලෙන්න ගහලා දායි දුන්න එළියට. ඇයි උන්ට වැඩක් නැහැ නේ අපි. තේරෙනවද? ඒගොල්ලන්ට සල්ලි අපි ඩිපොසිට් කරන්න නම් we should fill there is a slip. I think you have seen it. okay? cash deposit slip කලින් දැකලා තියෙනවනේ. දැකලා තියෙනවද? let's take Sampath cash deposit slip. Sampath cash deposit slip. The deposit slip. දැකලා තියෙනවනේ. මේ වගේ එකක් දැකලා නැද්ද? දැකලා තියෙනවනේ. right? පොඩ්ඩක් බ්ලර් වෙලා තියෙන වැඩි. නේද? දැකලා තියෙනවද? නේද? right? අපි කියලා ෆිල් කරන්න ඕනේ මේකේ යට තියෙනවා කහ පාට කොපියක් ඒක අපිට දෙනවා. බැංක් එක උඩ එක තියාගන්න. right? So this is the source document we use to record the transactions in bank account, which means to cash deposit slip. Understand? This is the source document, right? So we need to attach this in a file. Understand? Right? Okay. So when depositing the cash, a deposit slip has to be completed and submitted along with the cash to the bank. The bank returns a duplicate of the deposits to the depositor immediately. This document is used as a source document for recording the cash deposit. For second one, deposit of check received by the business. Balance in the bank account of the business is increased when checks are deposited. As explained earlier, when checks from debtor and cash sales are received, they are first debited to the cash. මං කිව්වා cash book. මුලින්ම අපි පස්සේ නම් deposit කරන කොහෙද දාන්නේ? cash book එකේ. right? deposit කරන ගමන් check එක හම්බෙද්දි කොහෙද දාන්නේ? cash book එකේ. right? So when these checks are deposited in the bank later, the double entry should be as follows: bank account debit, cash book credit. හැබැයි හම්බෙද්දි cash book debit, relevant account should credit. Understand? Right. So however, if the checks received are deposited to the bank at the time of receipt instead of debiting to the cash book, they can directly debit it to the bank account of the business. Check received from a sales amounting 100,000 was deposited at the bank immediately. The double entry, bank account debit, sales account credit. Easy, clear, right? So when receiver checks are deposited, a check deposit should be immediately and completed and submitted to the bank along with the check. A duplicate of deposit slip is given to the business by the bank. This document is used as a source document when the business record the deposit checks in the bank account of the business. Observe the following check deposit slip. This is a check deposit slip. දැකලා තියෙනවා. right? ඒකත් අර වගේම තමයි වෙනසක් නැහැ. This is a cash deposit slip. This is the check deposit slip. Check deposit slip. So it's also very much similar, but the difference is like think this is a HNB bank deposit. හැබැයි HNB බැංකුවේ මේ cash deposit slip bank check deposit slip කියලා දෙකම නැහැ. දෙකම එකේ තියෙන හැබැයි columns දෙකක්. Side දෙකක් තියෙනවා බලන්න. මේ තියෙන්නේ මේ this is a HNB, right? So this is HNB, right? So they use same structure but using two sides. This is for check deposit, this is for cash. Understand, right? So we need to maintain this check deposit slip as well, right? Issuing of checks. Okay, so what is a double entry when we issue checks? Now when we deposit in the bank, deposit cash in the bank, you know, cash account debit, right? Sorry, bank account debit, cash book credit, right? right? අපි මොනවාද මේ බැංකුවට ගිහිල්ලා cash දාද්දි, right? කොහොමද double entry? high sugar දන්නේ, right? හරි. මේ බාන මුලින්ම බාන double entry, right? What is the double entry for deposit cash in the bank? Bank account debit, cash book credit. Okay. What is the double entry for deposit of check? එදාම දානවනම් bank account debit, relevant account credit. හැබැයි පස්සේ නම් දාන්නේ deposit කරනකම් cash book debit, relevant account credit. When we deposit it, cash book credit, bank account debit. Understand, right? Okay, now what is the double entry for? Issuing a check. Think I issue a check to creditor Sunil 300. Bank account credit, creditor Sunil account debit. තේරුණාද? bank account credit check එක ලියලා දෙද්දි මෙයාට තේරුණාද? I should credit the bank account. Payment can be made to creditor purchases and expense by issuing a check. When a check is issued, it is a common practice to complete the check and its counterfoil, which is the reminder of the check leaf in the checkbook. Observe the following check and its counterfoil. Now this is the one we keep and this is the one we issue. දැන් ඔයා raffle draw එකක් කරන්න යද්දිත් එහෙම සල්ලි දීලා ගත්තාම, right? ඔයාගේ details අරගෙන ලියාගෙන ඒක තමයි තෝරන්නේ. ඔයා ඒක අරන් ගියාම මේ නම්බරේට මේක ටැලිනා ඔයාට tag දෙන්න. නේ? ඒ වගේ තමයි check එකත් මේක ඔයා තියා ගන්නවා මේක අරයට දෙන්න. ප්‍රශ්නයක් මොන අරනොත් ඔයාට මේකෙන් details බලා ගන්න. Right? So this is the check. You know, we can learn this in grade 11, our first lesson. Grade 11 first lesson checks. So we can discuss it in grade 11. The details of payments made by checks are recorded in payment voucher. So accordingly, when payments are paid by checks, the payment voucher use the source document to record such transaction in bank account of the business. When payments are made by check, the balance in the bank account of the business decrease. Accordingly, the relevant double entry is as follows: expense account or relevant payment account debit. It can be expense account or creditor account or asset account debit. When we purchase asset, think we purchase an asset by issuing a check. And the high pass ගණන් තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට what is the double entry? Creditor account debit or asset account debit or expense account debit and bank account credit. Right. So dishonoring of checks. This is very much important. I think you are okay up to here. So this is the structure of bank account maintained by the business. Date, description, LF, discount allowed value. This is the debit side. Date, description, LF, discount received. Right. This is the structure. Right. So note, in case of receiving check by debtor, paying creditor, creditors form check, discounts are also involved. So the discount column are added to the bank account. Right. Source document related to bank account transaction, deposit of cash in the bank, cash deposit slip, deposit of checks received by the business, check deposit slip, issuing of check, payment voucher. මෙතනට වෙනකන් අපි දැන් කරලා තියෙන්නේ පළවෙනි තුන. තේරෙනවද? Right? So how business now read this one: opening a bank account or opening a bank current account or deposit cash, source document and double entry. මේවා කියව ගන්න මම කියලා දුන්න ටිකම තමයි. තේරෙනවද? ඔතනම මගේ වෙනම නෝට් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඔක්කොම කියලා දෙන්න බෑ. Issuance of checks. Understand? This is in my tube. Additional. The other one. This is very much important to you. You need to have a clear idea about dishonoring of check. Video on කරගන්න බාන ඊළඟ කැලලට යන්න කලින් මේ කැලල කියලා දීලා මම ඉන්ටර්වල් එකක් දෙන්න. Right? Dishonoring of check. Dishonoring of check. Right? Dishonoring of check. What is the term called dishonoring of check? Others, are you there? What is the term called dishonoring of check? Dishonoring of check. You need to have a clear idea about dishonoring of a right. Listen to this carefully. What is the term called dishonor? Dishonor. මොන හරි හේතු නිසා බැංකුවක් චෙක් එක රිෆියුස් කරන්න පුළුවන්. චෙක් එක ඉරිලා නම් තේරෙනවද? right? චෙක් එක පේන්නෙම නැති වෙන්න මේනවා හරි වෙලා නම් නේද? ඊට පස්සේ sometimes we can take like now bank also not willing to issue overdraft facility. We can check එක දුන්නෙක් කෙනා දැන් මම ඔයාට චෙක් එකක් දෙනවා නම් මගේ account එකේනේ deduct වෙන්න ඕනේ නේද? මගේ account එකේ සල්ලි නැත්තම් bank එක දෙන්නෙත් නැත්තම් සල්ලි check එක return කරනවා. So dishonoring of checks. There are situations where a bank refuses checks due to checks being written dishonoredly, insufficient balance in the current account. හැමෝටම overdraft දෙන්නේ නැහැ. හොඳ අයට විතරයි දෙන්නේ. Right? Signatures on the check is different from the specimen signature. Specimen signature කියන්නේ දැන් මම අර වල check එකක් පෙන්නුවා. දැන් මට පුළුවන් නේ ඔයාගේ මගේ යාළුවගේ check පොතෙන් check එකක් ලියලා මම sign එකක් ගාලා බැංකුවට දුන්නාම බැංකුව සල්ලි දෙනවා නම් වැඩක් නැහැ නේ. තේරෙනවද කියන්නේ? Current account holder open කරද්දිම okay බැංකුවට ගිහලා sign එකක් මම ගහලා දෙන්න ඕනේ. මම එවන හැම check එකකම sign එක තියෙන්න ඕනේ මම බැංකුවට දුන්න sign. දෙක difference නම් බැංකුව සල්ලි ගෙවන්නේ නැහැ. තේරෙනවද? right? So specimen signature කියන්නේ මම අර මුලින්ම දෙනවා ඒගොල්ලෝ signature card එකක් දෙනවා. I need to record that. I need to now each and every check I should put that signature similar to that signature. If not, bank refuse the. මොකද හොරෙන් නැත්තම් මගේ check book එක කාට හරි උස්සන් ගිහලා ඌ signature එකක් ගාලා බැංකුවට දීලා සල්ලි ගන්නව නෑ වැඩක් නෑ. තේරෙනවද? right? So this is known as dishonoring of checks. Accordingly, checks deposited as well as checks issued may be dishonored by the bank. Okay? A check return notification is sent to the bank to the business informing the dishonored check. This is the source document we record, okay, for dishonoring of a check. Okay, you know the thing. අනේ cancel කරා කියලා ඔන්න බැංකුවේ වෙනවා තඩි මේක. හේතු දාලා මොනවාද කියලා. තේරෙනවද? ඒතර we can categorize dishonoring into two parts. This is our business. This is our business. Sometimes, okay, deposited checks can be dishonored. Sometimes issued checks can be dishonored. තේරෙනවද? ඒ කියන්නේ කවුරු හරි දීලා මම ඩිපොසිට් කරපු එක dishonor වෙන්න පුළුවන්. මම කාට හරි payment එකකට දුන්න එක dishonor වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Understand? Is it clear to you guys? There are two types of dishonoring. Deposited checks can be dishonored. Understand? Issued checks can be dishonored. Now you need to have a clear idea what is the double entry. First one. Think this is my bank account. Listen to this carefully. මේක හැමෝම අමාරුයි කියන එක. bank. Understand? Right? Once I deposit a check, what is the double entry? Bank account debit. Think from debtor A. Angila මේක බැංකුවට දුන්න ගමන් bank account debit. Okay? Bank account debit. And debtors A account credit. එදාම දැම්මත් පස්සේ දැම්මත් ultimately මේකනේ වෙන්නේ. මං කියන දෙන්නවද? මේකනේ වෙන්නේ. bank account. ඉතින් එදා දැම්මොත් bank account debit debtors A account credit පස්සේ නම් දාන්නේ cash book debit debtors A account credit දාන දවසේ cash book credit bank account debit ultimately අර cash book එක කියන්නේ temporary account එක. Right? So how to record? Listen to this carefully. This is very much important to you. Okay, now this deposited check can be dishonored. දැන් ඇත්තටම ඌ මට සල්ලි දීලාද? නෑ. ඌ මට දුන්න චෙක් එකක් මං ගිහලා බැංකුවේ දානවා. බැංකුව කියනවා සල්ලි එයාගේ එකෙන් මගේ account එකට දාන්න බෑ. ඒකට හේතුව ඇයි? එයාගේ account එකේ සල්ලි නෑ කියලා බැංකුවේ මොනාර හේතුවක් කියන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් මම debtor asset එක decrease කරා. තේරෙනවද? Now what is the original transaction? There should be credit sales. Can you remember? Okay, what is the credit sale? Sales account credit 100 rupees. Debtors account debit 100 rupees. Sales මේකනේ මුලින්ම උනේ. මේක නිසානේ යා මට සල්ලි දෙන්නේ. තේරෙනවද? debtor හරි. මේක නිසානේ යා මට සල්ලි දුන්නේ. දැන් මම debtor account A එක close වුණා නේද යා සල්ලි දුන්න ගමන්. ඒ ගහිලා ගියානේ debit side උත් credit side වෙලා close වෙලා ගියා. හැබැයි යා මට සල්ලි දීලා නැහැ නේද? දැන් මං ආයි මෙයාව debtor කෙනෙක් කරන්න ඕනේ. තේරෙනවද? මං ආයි මෙයාව debtor කියලා identify කරගන්න. So what is the double entry? Debtor A account debit bank account credit. කියන්නේ bank එකෙන් සල්ලි ගියා නෙමේ deposit කරපු එක dishonor. තේරුණාද? Now once I balance this again, I can identify debit side balance brought forward. Is it clear? Right? So what is the double entry? Bank account credit. If you can't understand, let me know. I'll ask you, explain it again. Bank account credit, debtors A account debit. Understand? This is the double entry for dishonoring of check. අයියේ මම මෙයාව ආයි restate කරන්න ඕන. මම deposit කරා මගේ account එකට සල්ලි වැටෙයි කියලා හිතලා. Right? හැබැයි වැටෙන්නේ නැති නිසා again I should credit. දැන් bank account එකේ debit credit කැඩලා ගිහලා bank account එකට කීයක්වත් ඇවිල්ලා නැහැ නේ. මෙතන මෙයාව close වෙලා ගිය එක මෙයාම ආයි restate වෙලා. තේරෙනවද? Right. Now the other one. Listen to this carefully. Dishonoring of issued check. Right. What is the double entry? Once I issue a check, think this is my bank account. Okay. And think this is my this is my bank account, and think this is my creditor B, and think this is my purchase account. Originally, what is the transaction? Purchase account debit 100 rupees, creditor B account credit 100. තේරුණාද? මුලින්ම යා ක්‍රෙඩිටර් කෙනෙක් වෙන්න නම් purchase account එක debit වෙලා purchase account එක debit වෙලා creditor account එක credit වෙන්න එපා. එතකොටනේ දැන් මොන credit purchase එකක් කරලා තියෙන්නේ. කලින් කතා කරා. Once I issue a check to this creditor, what is the double entry? Bank account credit, creditor account debit. Is it clear to you? දැන් ඔන්න එයාට check එකක් දුන්නා. creditor E bank. මෙන්න මේ check එක දුන්න එක. තේරුණාද? දැන් එයාව close වෙලා නේ තියෙන්නේ. No more creditor A. Right? මං හිතුවා මගේ account එකෙන් අඩු වෙලා මං දැන් මම දන්නේ ඌ කවද බැංකුවට අරන් එයිද දරා ගන්න මේක this is related with bank reconciliation. The validity period of a check is 6 months. He can hand over this check after 3 months as well. අපි ඉතින් ඌ බැංකුවට දෙනකන් 3 months යනකම් බලන් ඉන්න. චෙක් එක ලියලා දෙද්දිම ක්‍රෙඩිට් කරනවා. තේරෙනවද? කවදා හරි අඩු වෙනවා. මොකද මට චෙක් එකක් හම්බුනොත් මම ඒක තියාගෙන මේ උඩ දාලා ඉන්නේ නැහැ නේ. කවදා හරි දෙන්න බෑ නැත්තම් මට සල්ලි හම්බෙන්නේ. වැඩක් නැහැ. Right? So now this check has been dishonored. Okay? What is the double entry? What is the double entry? ඇත්තරම account එකෙන් සල්ලි කැපිලාද? account එකෙන් සල්ලි කැපිලා නැහැ. So again I should debit the bank. කැපිච්ච එක කැපිලා නැහැ නේ ඇත්තට. Creditor B account should credit. Creditor B is bank. In here which means I have again restate my credit. දැන් මේක මම balance carried down balance brought forward කරොත් credit side එකට 100 යනවා නේද? මගේ account එක කීයක්වත් කැපිලා නැහැ නේද? What is the double entry? Bank account debit, creditor B account, the double entry. So if they ask like what is the double entry for deposited check dishonoring? What is the double entry? What is the double entry for dishonoring of deposited checks? Can you tell me? Relevant account debit, bank account credit. Is it clear to you? Right? So what is the double entry of dishonoring issued check, bank account debit, relevant account credit? This can be for debtor or for an asset or anything. Right? Okay, I think it's okay for you. Now you know the four holes in it. First one, dishonoring of deposited check. When checks are received, now listen to this carefully. දැන් වතුර ටිකක් බීලා හොඳට ආගන්න කම්මැලි වෙන්න එපා. Right? මේක ගොඩක් වැදගත්. So when the checks are received from cash sales, debtors, etc., and when those checks are deposited in the bank, they are debited to the bank account of the business. Is it clear? Right? So this is because the balance in the bank account is increased. However, when a check is dishonored by the bank, in fact the bank balance does not increase. I thought my bank account will be increased. Right? So therefore, when deposited check is dishonored, the debit entry may be the bank account of the business should be reversed. Here, the value of the dishonored check should be cancelled from the bank account and should be recorded as a receivable from the party who had given the check. Accordingly, the double entry for dishonoring deposited check should be recorded as follows. Debtor or relevant account debit, bank account one. මේ dishonor ඒකට විතර දැන් මෙහෙම dishonor වෙන්න නම් ලොකු කතාවක් මේකේ තිරේ පිටිපස්සේ තියෙනවා. අර කියන්නේ අපි කරද්දි තිරේ පිටිපස්සේ ලොකු කතාවක් තියෙනවා. ඒකල අපිට දීලා තියෙන්නේ double entry විතර. එහෙම වෙන්න නම් originally there should be credit sales and already we have received the check and we already deposited. When it comes to deposit, bank account when it comes to dishonored, bank account credit, okay, and debtors account. Is it clear? So a check received from a debtor 8,000 and deposited in the bank had been dishonored by the bank. The double entry for recording of this dishonored check is as follow: debtors account debit, bank account. Right? So when it comes to my tube, so I have given you the full scenario. Just read and understand. Read and understand. Okay? Using my words, you can read and understand at home. The homework. Right? ඒක කියවලා තේරුම් ගන්න. හැබැයි if you need you can write this, I'll send it to you. Okay? During the interval you can write. Okay, now the other one. Next one. Dishonoring of issued check. it is already discussed that when checks are issued, the relevant expense account or the relevant account should be debited and the bank account should be credited. When such an issued check is dishonored by the bank, entries that were originally recorded should be reversed. This is done by the reversal entry to the entry that was recorded originally when the checks were issued. Accordingly, when an issued check is dishonored, should be recorded as follows: bank account debit, expense or relevant other account credit. Example, a check issued by the business to a creditor of rupees 50,000 was dishonored and when presented to the bank. When this information is received, the double entry for this dishonored check is as follows: bank account debit, creditor account credit 15. Now you can observe there is a huge scenario behind this. Bank account debit, creditor account. So this is the end of the double entries. This is from the business perspective, not from the bank perspective. අපි තාම බැංකුව කොහොමද රෙකෝඩ් කරන්න කියලා ඔයා දන්නේ නැහැ. liability principle එකෙන් ඒක කරන්න ගණන් ටික හැදුවට පස්සේ. Now it's හරියටම 10යි. බලන්න මම කොච්චර හොඳට වෙලාවට වැඩ කරනවා. I'm proud of myself. Right බලන්න මම හරි on time වැඩ කරන මිනිස්සෙක්. බලන්න. Now after the interval we can do the exercise. You need to have the tute. දැන් ටියුට් එක නැත්තම් කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. දුවල ගිහිල්ලා ඉන්ටර්වල් එකේ හරි අරන් ඉන්න. ඇඩිෂනල් ඉන්ෆර්මේෂන් තියෙනවා පස්සේ කියව ගන්න. මං ඉතින් බබාලට චූටි තොත්ත බබාලට සක්සෙසුත් ගහලා දීලා තියෙනවා. තේරෙනවද? ඔයාට තියෙන්නේ මේක පුරව ගන්න විතරයි. තේරෙනවද? අර හිස්ටම් පුරනවා වගේ පුරව ගන්න විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. තේරෙනවද? තේරුණාද? Okay, we can do after the interval. Okay, from 10:15 onwards I'm going to start the calculations. Come back sharply 8:15, and if you need you can write this and I'll send a picture to the group. Understand? Okay, මේක ටියුට් එකේ හරි ටෙක්ස්ට් බුක් එකේ හරි කොහෙන් හරි ඇඳ ගන්න ඔයාලට පැටලෙනවා ටැපලෙනවා වගේ. Right, so starting at 8:15, right? Okay. Okay guys, welcome back after the interval. Now it's almost 8, 10, 17, right? Okay, turn on the videos. Let's start example in page number 117. All the answers are available in the textbook, but I am going to do this with you. Okay, right? Now using current knowledge, you need to know, right? You know what are the things we have discussed up to now. You know, deposit cash in the bank, deposit check in the bank, issuing of checks, dishonoring of checks, right? So dishonoring of checks is very much important. We can categorize it into two. Deposit checks can be received and issued checks can be received, right? Okay. Now Netmini's business, I think we have our Netma, right? Our Netmini's business had the following balances as at 1st June 2020. Let's take 2023. Let's take 2023. These are the opening balances. The following transactions had taken place during the month of June. So these are the June transaction. So what we need to prepare? We need to prepare bank account. Okay, we need to prepare cash book and other ledger accounts. You know, you no need to prepare petty cash book because in here no need petty cash transactions, right? Now you know in my mama make a whiteboard එකට අරන් තියෙන්නේ. So all the things are available. Understand? You know, this is now, you know, as I told you, we need to follow a secret way. දැන් අපි හැම එකේම ආයි month date year එකයි repeat කරන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම නොකරන්න නම් bank account එකේ date column එකේ 2023 June කියලා දාන්න. ඒතර ආයි එතන date එක විතරයි ලියන්න. තේරෙනවද? මෙතනත් එමයයි 2023 June කියලා ලියාගනි. June. Not only in bank account, okay? So write it in the cash book as well. Do this with me. I'm not giving any time. In cash book also 2023 June කියලා ලියා. ඒතර අපි repeat කරන්න ඕනේ. 2023 June කියලා ලියා ගන්න. So then we don't need to repeat it again and again, right? So not only that, quickly come to the ledger heading. So there are so many ledger accounts. Understand? So again we can write 2023 June on top. Then we don't need to repeat it again and again. Understand? So we don't need to repeat the date and year. again and sorry, month and year again and right. Okay, you know, in this kind of a question, what we need to do, we need to start from the opening balances. As I told you, since in here I'm going to prepare the trial balance, you know. So to tally the trial balance, we need to find the opening capital as well. Understand? Always our accounting equation should satisfy. Now in here you can see there are assets. What are how many? The total of assets is 185,000 plus 55,000. Can you tell me the total? 185,000 plus 55,000 means 240,000. How much is the asset total? 240,000. Understand? 240,000. But when it comes to liabilities, 240,000. So it's too hard to write it in here 240,000. No, right? But when it comes to creditor balance, can you tell me the total of liability balance? Liability balance 85,000, right? Asset balance 240,000, liability balance 85,000, right? So how much is the equity value? Equity value should be 150,000. Okay, you need to have a clear idea about this. Is it clear to you? Now listen to this carefully. Always our assets should equal to equity plus liability. In here, no any equity. Understand? Now when it comes to asset, the total is 185,000 plus 55,000, which means 240,000. Liability balance 85,000. So equity balance should be 105,000. 105,000, right? Okay, quickly let's record the balances. Cash book balance 185,000. Quickly come to the cash book. Record the opening balances in here, debit side. June 1st. Balance brought forward 185,000. 100. Write it in the value column, not in the discount allowed column. 180. 180. Right? This is done. Debtors 55,000. Quickly come to the debtors account. You know, debtors, it's an asset, so balance brought forward in debit side. First, balance brought forward 85. Right. Okay. Now, when it comes to creditor, how much? 85,000. Quickly record the creditor balances in here. First, balance brought. So not 80, it's debtors 55,000. So debtors 50,000, creditors 85,000. Huh? Debtors 55,000. Sorry, my mistake. Debtors 55,000. Creditors 85,000. Right? So we need to record opening capital. How much? 155,000. 185,000 plus 50,000 means 240. When we deduct 85,000, it's 155,000. Quickly open a creditor account. So in here, no any creditor, sorry, no any not creditor, capital account. This is the capital account. So in here, capital should be 155,000. 155,000. Date first, balance brought last. 150. 150. Done. Up to here, done. Now what we need to do, we need to record other transactions, right? Is it clear to you? Right. Let's find the transactions in here. Right. First one. The following transactions had taken place during the month of June. June 2nd, open a bank current account by depositing 22,000. June 2nd, can you tell me the double entry? Cash book credit, bank account debit, right? June 2nd, cash book credit, bank account debit 22,000. Right? Cash book credit 22,000, value column. Write the description as bank account. Quickly come to the bank account. June 2nd, cash book. Now no need to repeat year and month again. 22,000. 22,000. Right? 22,000. Okay. First one done. Second one. June 3rd, receive a check bearing number 455,455 from a debtor for rupees 9,000. දැන් මේක ඩිපොසිට් කරනවා කියලා තියනවද එදා? එදාම ඩිපොසිට් කරා කියලා ඉන්ෆර්මේෂන් එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒතර අපි ලියන්න ඕනේ කොහෙද? ඩෙබිට් කරන්න ඕනේ. Cash book. Understand? We should debit in cash book. That's why you need to know the scenario. Okay, we need to record in the temporary account, which means cash book. Locker එකේ දාගෙන තියාගන්න. Cash book debit 9,000. Debtors account credit 9,000. Understand? So June 3rd, sorry. There is a secret. What is the secret? Listen to this carefully. When we record something in the cash book, June 3rd, right? 3rd? Date? 3rd, right? June 3rd. Debtors account. But since this is a check, within brackets you need to write check. ඇයි නැත්තම් identify කරගන්න බෑනේ. මොකද මෙතන මේවායේ cash උත් අපි debit කරනවා. මම කියන්නේ check නම් check කියලා within brackets ලියන්න ඕනේ. 9,000. 9,000. Right? Debit 9,000. So 155, 9,000. Now quickly credit the debtors account. Debtors account. Third, cash book. You can write check number 455, 9,000. Debtors account. Right. This is also done. Now the other one. Deposit the check number 455 of rupees 9,000 that was received from a debtor. පුන හම්බෙච්ච එක කවද්ද deposit කරන්න? 4. So fourth, cash book credit, bank account debit 9,000. Right? So June 4th, cash book credit, bank account. June 4th. Quickly come to the cash book. Right? So write it as bank account 455 9,000. Right? 9,000. Quickly come to the bank account debit side. Debit side. June 4th. June 4th. Cash book. Check number 455 rupees 9,000. Right? Is it clear to you guys? Are you okay up to this point? Right? Others? Okay. If you have any matter, you can ask. This is also done. Right. Okay. The make check number එක විතරයි දාලා තියෙන්නේ කමන්නේ අපි යන් right okay June 8 the check number 562 of rupees 12,000 that is received from a sale has been deposited at the same time of the receipt. Deposited at the same time of the no need to record it in the cash book. So bank account debit, sales account credit, right? So bank account debit 12,000. What is the credit end? This is sales. So sales account credit 12,000. June 8. June 8. Sales account. Okay. So check number 562, 12,000. 562, the amount is 12,000. 12,000. 12,000. Right? Done. Quickly come to the sales account. It's in here. Okay. So June 8, 562, 12,000. No need to write check number in sales account. Huh? Only in cash book and bank account, you should mention the check number. It's compulsory. Is it clear to you? Right? Okay. Right. Now the other one. June 12th, deposit cash of 15,000 in the bank current account. So what is the double head? Cash book credit, bank account debit, 15,000 June 12th. June 12th, cash book credit, bank account debit, 15,000. Okay, 15,000. Quickly come to the bank account. Bank account debit, June 12th. Cash book amount is 15,000. Okay, it's 15,000. Are you okay up to this point, guys? Right? පොඩි කතාන්දරයක්වත් කියන්නකො තේරුණාද? අන්මියුට් කරලා ඔව් කියලාවත් කියන්නේ. තේරුන්නේ නැද්ද? තේරුන්නේ නැහැ? Yes sir. ඉන්නවද? හලෝ කියන්න බාන්න. කතා කරන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලාවත් බලන්න. තේරෙන්නේ නැද්ද? Guys, are you there online? Why are you not talking to me? Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Alright, අම්බෝ එක්කෙනෙක්ට පුළුවන්. යා කෙල්ලන් විතරේ කතා කරන්න පුළුවන් කොල්ලන්ටද? නැද්ද? Right? Okay, now the other one. The creditor was paid by check 301 amounting to rupees 7,600. And a discount of 400 was received. This is with discounts. Right? So how much we paid to the creditor? 7,600. Okay. Can you tell me the discount amount? 400. Creditor ගෙන් ඇත්තටම කීයක් අපි set off කරනවද? 8,000. Okay, but we issued 7,600. The discount received is rupees 400. Understand? Right? So how to write it? Quickly come to the bank account. Okay, quickly come to the bank account. June 15, credit side, 15, creditor account. Okay. So what is the check number? 301, 301, amount 8,000, though the amount amount is 301, the check number is 301, am I correct? Right? Though the total is 8,000, split, we need to split it. 7,600 is the check value, discount received 400. You know, since the discounts column perform on the primary book function, this is in the cash book, okay? We record discounts at last. Can you remember? Okay. So till that we need to write only the value column 7,600. Quickly come to the creditor account. June 15, bank account 7,600. We record the discounts at last. Okay. See, you can remember. Can you remember it? Send me a thumbs up. Okay. So we already have discussed this. Now the other one. Issue a check bearing 301 for the payment of electricity bill of rupees 5,000. Issue a check. June 18, 5,000, right? June 18, 5,000. So when we issue check, bank account, credit 18,000, right? So this is for electricity, right? Electricity account, sorry, matter? Electricity account, how much rupees? 5,000. දැන් ඉතින් මේක ඔයාලට තේරෙන්න ඕනේ. අපි දැන් check පොතේ check numbers තියෙන order එකට. After 301, what is the check number? 302. But in here, receive check numbers may be different. එක එක්කෙනා දෙන්නේ යාගේ එක එක order එකට. තේරෙනවද? So but this is in a chronological order. 300. Quickly come to the electricity account. Debit the electricity account. June 18, bank account, 5,000. 5,000. 5,000. Right? 5,000. 5,000. Now the other one. On the dishonoring part. On a dishonoring part. June 20th, the checks issued for the payment of the electricity bill has been dishonored by the bank. What is this, guys? This is issued check. Understand? Has been. So how to write it? When we issue check, bank account credit, electricity bill account debit. Then all. The bank account credit velad. So where we should write, we should debit the bank account. We should credit the electricity expense. Understand? So what is the double entry? Bank account debit. Right? So bank account debit. So what is the date? It's June 20th. June 20th. Okay. 5,000. Write it as electricity. Can write dishonoring check number 300. This is for your reference. Is it clear to you? Right? Dishonoring 300. Quickly come to the electricity account. Credit the electricity account June 20th. Bank account 5,000. දැන් ඇත්තටම electricity කියන expense එකට payment එකක් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. Right? A check bearing number 515 was received from a debtor for 13,000. Any information regarding the deposit, guys, in here? No. So where we should record it? In the cash. Understand? Cash book debit 13,000. 24th. Cash book debit 24th. What is the check number? It's check 415, right? And 13,000. Right? Credit the debtor's account. Get the debtor's account. June 24th. 13,000. 30. Done. Deposit the check number 415 received from the debtor. June 26, you know. Cash book credit. $26, right? It's 26. 26. Cash book credit, bank account, debit, 415, right? It's 13,000. Okay, cash book credit, bank account debit, 13,000, June 26th, cash book, check number 450, right? That. Now this is again දැන් තුන් පාරක ඌ අපිට තුන් පාරකට කරදර කරනවා. ඌ අපි මුලින්ම හම්බෙච්ච චෙක් එක ආච්චිය දාගෙන ඉන්නවා දැන් ගිහිල්ලා දානවා දැන් දුන්න එකත් ආයෙ ඩිස් වෙනවා. මගුලක්ද? එකම තුන් තැනකට යනවා. Right? So what is the transaction? Check number has been dishonored by the bank. This is what? This is received check, deposited check, dishonored. What is the double debt? So when we deposit, we debit the bank account. Now we should credit the bank account. Again, we should restate the debtor. So bank account credit, debtors account debit, right? 28. 28. Bank account credit, debtors account debit. No need to write the check number in here because in here we restate it again. Understand? So 13,000. So this is dishonor. Even you can write dishonor. It's up to you. If you need, you can write. If you think you don't need to write, understand? So debtors account debit. $13,000. It's June 28. Bank account. Okay. Now again, දැන් මෙතන වැරදි ඇයි මේකේ credit sale එක දීලා නැහැ. Credits first of all the original transaction was credit sale. I think it's in the balance board form. Understand? It should be in the balance board form, right? Okay. The check bearing 632 was received from a debtor for 5,700. The discount of rupees 300 has been allowed. The check has been deposited at the time of the receipt. Understand? Right? Again, we don't need to record it in the cash book. Quickly we can record in the bank account because we deposited on the same date. So quickly come to the bank account. There is discount as well. So the date is June 29th. June 29th. You can write debtors account. Okay. So the check number is 632. 632. Okay. Allowed discount is how much? How much? It's rupees 3,000, right? 3,000. Sorry, 300. So 5,700 was received. So 5,700, 300. You know this is for 6,000 worth of a debtor. Understand? We record discounts at the end. Quickly come to the debtors account. Okay. So quickly come to the debtors account. June 29th, 5,700. June 29 bank account. Sorry, it's in the it's in the debtors account, right? Sorry. So this is cash book. Sorry, guys. Thank you. Right. Debtors account, June 29th bank account 5,700. Okay. So even you can write the check number 632 as well. Right? Now the transactions already have finished. Now we need to balance it and find the totals, right? You know, before that, first what we need to do? We need to find the discounts. Only discounts in where? Bank account. Quickly balance the bank account. You know, when it comes to bank account, you know, so how we record it, we need to balance it off. Okay. So when it comes to discounts, it's 300. When it discounts allowed, when it comes to discount received, 400. Can you remember? Right? So you need to know, record the double entry for discount allowed. So what is the double entry of discount allowed? Discount allowed account debit, relevant credit debtors account credit. Understand? Discount allowed account debit, relevant debtors account credit. 300 on 29. Quickly come to the discounts allowed account. This is the discount allowed. It's let's record it June 30th, right? So debtors account, it's 300, right? 300. Quickly come to the debtors account. Credit the debtors account on the relevant date. The relevant date is 29. 29. 300. You can write discount allowed. Though we record the total on the discount account at the end of the month, we credit to the debtors account concerning the transaction date. Understand? So when it comes to discount received, can you tell me the total? 400. You know, it's an income. When income increase, it's credit. Quickly come to the discount allowed account, 30th, 400. You can write. So the description should be creditors account. Creditors, 400. So the transaction date was June 15, 400. Quickly come to the creditors account. 400 on June 15. You can write discount received. Done. Okay. Now what we can do, we need to balance the bank account. දැන් ඉතින් ආන්සර් එකත් බබාවගේ තියෙනවා මං හිතන්නේ මේකේ. ඒ තියෙනවා. ඉතින් බැලන්ස් කරන්න බැලන්ස් කරලා නැහැ. හරි. එලකිරි සුපිරි තදකොර. දැන් ඔයාලා බැලන්ස් කරන්න. Balance it and find the answers. Can you tell me the answers, Dini? Hurry up. So I'm not going to okay. So this is a homework, because we can't waste our time. Understand? So you need to balance it and find the total and let me know. Then we are make a balance karala. Then this now you know in my theory class we have already discussed about this 11th lesson. What is the 11th lesson? Trial balance. And දැම්ම කරනවා එකට හේතුව third term එකක් මම කලින්ම කරා. Right? So trial balance. If you balance it correctly, the total of the debit side should be equal to total of the credit side. දැන් ඔයා මෙතන EBF යන පැත්ත දානවා. For an example, think when we balance the capital account, BBF in which side? Credit side, right? Higher value side is credit. Take it to the lower value side as well. Okay. June 30th, balance carried down 155,000. July 1st, write the month July as well, because in here we mention the topic as June. Understand? So balance brought forward 155,000 credit. But in here, you know, when it comes to capital account, though we balance brought forward following month, first date, we prepare the trial balance at the end of the month. Okay, but we take the balance board forward side. What is the balance board forward side? Credit side. So you need to write capital account 155,000 in credit side. 150,000 in. Similar like discount received, you know, ඉතින් මේක balance කරත් credit debit side එක 0 නිසා balance brought forward යන්නේ කොහෙද? Credit side 0. You know how to balance a ledger account. You need to find the higher value side. What is the higher value side? Credit. Write the higher value side total in lower value side as well. Okay. And lower value side total 0. 400 minus 0, 400. So write it in here. So June 30th, balance carried down. July 1st, balance brought forward 400. Write this 400, discount received in. Again, I'm going to balance another one in account, others as a homework. Let's balance this creditor account. Shall we balance the creditor account? Okay with that? Right. Okay, let's balance the creditor account. Okay, guys, something wrong with the screen or not? Is it okay? Blurry?
So it's a little blurred.
Very. Here. Don't worry, you can write it. Huh? Okay, so මම ලියන ගමන් මම කියන ගමන් අහගෙන ලියන්න. අර creditor account එකට එන්න, quickly come to the creditor account. Let's balance it as final. Higher value side total how much? 85,000. 85,000. Lower value side total again 80. Sorry, write it in the lower value side as well. What is the lower value side total? 8,000, right? 8,000. You need to deduct 8,000 from 85,000. How much? 77,000, right? 77,000. So 77,000. June 30th, balance carried down on debit side. Write it. July 1st, balance brought forward 77,000. Okay, 77,000. Right, 77,000. Okay, so creditor balance total how much, guys? 77,000 in which side? Credit side. Right. Balance the other things and find the total. This is the whole. Is it clear to you guys? Balance the other accounts and find the total. Then shape the තාමත් එහෙමයි නේ. කිසි වෙනසක් නැහැ. තාමත් සින්දුවක් නෙමෙයි කිව්වේ. Right. Done. Now do the other things as a homework. Other than that, there is another activity. This is also as a homework because this is I can't finish everything today. Okay. ඉතින් මම බබාලට ඒකත් ගහලා දීලා තියෙන්නේ ටියුට් එකේ. දැක්කනේ? ඒකටත් ස්පේස් එක මම ගහලා තියෙන්නේ. You can find the space in here for the next activity as well. Activity 1, page number 117. Is it clear to you guys? This is also as a homework. Do this and find the totals and balance the trial balance and send it to me. Okay. And other than that, there is another additional information. Special note. Look here. Listen to this carefully. This is the startup for the next part. Special note. A business bank account also perform a dual function like the cash book and the petty cash book. Accordingly, 1 minute, welcome. 1 minute, guys. I think something wrong with the screen, but don't worry because I think it is with you. Okay, you can find the note from the tute, right? Okay. Accordingly, the bank account also perform a function like primary book as well as the ledger account. Okay. Accordingly, since these three primary books, cash book and petty cash book and the bank account perform a dual function, the balance carried forward by all three primary books. All these three primary books are asset accounts also should be recorded in the balance sheet. ඒ කියන්නේ මොකක්ද මම මේ කියන්නේ? Since cash book, listen to this carefully, this is all about cash book, petty cash book and bank account. Since cash book, petty cash book and bank account perform a dual function, balance brought forward should be in debit side, but there is a special case only for bank account. Bank account balance brought forward can be in credit side as well. Why? There is an overdraft. Balance brought forward in credits. Right? But when it comes to cash book and petty cash book, balance brought should be in debit side. For the ඔයාගේ පර්ස් එකේ තියෙන්නේ 5000 නම් ඔයාට 6000ක් ගෙවන්න බෑ. 5000ක් නෙන්නේ maximum you can do the payments up to 5000. Is it clear? But when it comes to bank account, balance brought forward can be debit side or credit side. If it is debit side, this is very much important for our next part. What is the next part? Bank reconciliation. Okay? If the balance brought forward in debit side, which means මොකද්ද debit side එකේ balance brought forward වෙනවා කියන්නේ bank account එකේ සල්ලි තියෙනවා. If the balance brought forward in credit side කියන්නේ වැඩිපුර මං වෙනුවෙන් බැංකුව ගෙවලා තේරෙනවද? So balance brought forward can be debit side and credit side in only in bank account, but when it comes to cash book and petty cash book, balance brought forward in debit side. Understand? Right? So since these three primary books perform dual function, we should take those things into the trial balance. Right? But balances carried forward in both primary books, cash book and petty cash book, are necessarily having debit balance, but the balance carried forward in bank account can be either a debit balance or a credit balance. This is because current account holders can be obtained. What is the facility we can obtain? Overdraft facility. Is it clear? Right? Since we can obtain overdraft facility, balance brought forward can be debit side or product performance මදියදී the product දෙක තුනක් run වෙනවා. ඒක නිසා මේ tute එකෙන් බලා ගන්න. tute එක අතේ නැත්තම් download කරගන්න group වලයි හැමතැනම තියෙනවා. Right? Okay. So this activity also homework. Do this as a homework. Now in here there is a opening balance as well. You can find there is a opening capital balance as well. Can you see? There is opening capital balance. So shall we check whether the assets total equal to equity plus liability? Can you tell me the total of assets? 150,000. 150,000. So creditors, which means liability 80,000. So capital 70,000. So equity plus liability also 150,000. It's tally. We don't need to record. We don't need to calculate capital because it's already given to you. Right. So do the transactions and record the transactions. Prepare the bank account for the month ended 30th June 2023. balances post the entry to the ledger account and the balance them off. So you can see this is the bank account in Mytude and cash book. So there are ledger accounts as well. And there are another homeworks try to do. I'm not going to force you because I'm going to discuss everything in our paper revision class. We can discuss everything in our paper revision, right? Grade 10 paper revision. Now this is the important part, bank overdraft. කලින් කියලා දුන්නා. ඉතින් ලොකුවට ඕනේ නැහැ. මම කියලා දුන්නා. You know the concept called bank overdraft. Is it clear to you? So if the screen is not clear, turn to the page number 120 in textbook. Bank overdraft. What is the term called bank overdraft? Right? There are situations where banks allow their customers to issue checks for more than the existing balance in their current account. Understand? We can issue checks more than our amount available in the bank account. Understand? So this facility is known as, what is the facility? It's known as bank overdraft. Underline the first sentence, the definition. There are situations where bank allow their customers to issue checks for more than the existence balance in the current. The definition for this facility is known as overdraft. If the business issues checks exceeding the existence bank balance, total of the credit side of the bank account of the business exceeds the total of the debit side of the bank account. Is it clear? Okay, which means payment side is higher than the debit side. Credit side is higher than. Now this is from our perspective, from our end, not from the bank side. Right. So accordingly, when checks are issued, right? I mean, baladi podda manya. Right. Okay. As a result, credit balance appears in the bank account. This credit balance of the bank account is known as bank overdraft, which is considered as a liability of the business. Accordingly, when a checks are issued in exceeding of the existing bank balance, when the bank makes payment on them, the account holder becomes a debtor to the bank, and the debit balance in the bank is known as the bank overdraft. Now still you don't know, from our point of view, okay, what is the balance brought forward side, credit side, if it is an overdraft. From bank's point of view, it's debit side. Still you don't know. I will explain it after this bank overdraft. Okay, so example. So there was a favorable balance, debit balance in the bank account of Samadhi's business of 12,000 as at 1st July 2023. I'm make a දැනටමත් මෙතන. Right in here, shall we draw something in this one? Shall we draw something in? Guys, shall we draw something in? There's a space. To identify the bank overdraft, you should draw this one, guys. Better to draw this one. Let's draw this one. Better if you can draw this. First in the picture, this is the bank overdraft. Like this one. Okay. Let's draw this one. This is later I'll send a picture. ABC balance, bank balance, overdraft. Let us send a picture. අර අතන තියෙන ස්පේස් එකේ මේ තැන ඇඳ ගන්න. Total transferring okay, so wait, I'll send a picture to you. Don't think much. Okay. Okay, draw this in your space. It's in the space in page number 12. It's in page number 12. Okay, I already sent a picture, guys. If you can't see this properly, you can draw this while observing the picture. අරක බලන්න ඉන්න ඕනේ පොඩ්ඩක්. අර එනවනේ.
So තුන්වෙනි ෆිගර් එක මොකක්ද?
තුන්වෙනි
තුන්වෙනි ෆිගර් එක මොකක්ද?
මේකද? කොහොමද තුන්වෙනි ෆිගර් එක ගත්තේ? Total transferring amount. Total transferring amount. First one, overdraft 50,000. Then the ABC bank balance 100,000. Total transferring amount 150,000.
නෑ සර් මෂ්රූම් කැල්ලක් වගේ.
තුන් කැල්ලක් කියන්නේ ඒ ඇවිල්ලා මේ බිස්නස් එකක් පේන්නේ. සුනිල්ගේ හැබැයි ඉන්න එක්කෙනා නේද? ඒකද?
ඔව් සර්.
ඒක සුනිල්ගේ බැංක් එක. Sunil's bank. Right? You can write it Sunil's bank. Once you finish, raise your hands. I'm waiting for your raised hands. Once you finish, raise your hands. Hurry up, guys. Once you finish, raise your hand. Okay. කොලේක නම් ලියවෙන්නේ නැහැ. කොලේක ඉවරයි අනිත් තුන පාඩම්. ඕක ගිහලා බලන්න. Done? Others only 3 students. Others have you finished? What happened to Alliyaguru and Dhiren, Abhimani, Netuka? Have you finished? Ramiru, Sandil, Sayumi, Nonimi. I'm going to do this till 11:30, yeah? 11:30, then 11:30 to 11:40 a break. From 11:40 onwards, I'm going to start the bank. That is the important part. So I can't finish it today. So you should participate on Monday as well. Understand? Monday 6:30. Okay, Monday we can finish the bank reconciliation part. Okay. So this is seminar part 2. Right? It's also totally free. So if you need, you can join Monday 6:30 to 8:30. Is it clear? Send me a thumbs up. So this Monday I'm going to finish bank reconciliation part. Okay. Okay. Bank account. Now there is an example. Look here. දැන් මේ example එකම තමයි මම Qt එකේ homework එකක් විදිහට දාලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒක ඉතින් කරන්න ඕනේ පළවෙනි homework. තේරෙනවද? You need to do the first homework in the Qt. Okay? Right? The answer is available in my the answer for the first homework available in the textbook. Okay? Right. So okay, let's observe the transaction. Look here, what is the matter? There was a favorable balance, debit balance in the bank account of the Samadhi's business. Now, favorable balance means debit balance from our perspective. If it is opening debit balance, which means it's a favorable balance. I think you know about it. Okay, right? Debit balance means it's a favorable balance. So balance brought forward in which side? Debit side 12,000. Debit side 12,000. It's in the textbook. Debit side balance brought forward in bank account. Debit side 12,000. Is it clear to you? Right? Okay. Now, other than that, what are the other things? July 5th, 2022, cash deposited in the bank, how much? 8,000. If we deposit cash in the bank, what is the double it? Cash book credit bank account. This is the debit side of the bank account. Cash book credit bank account. Understand? I think it's okay. Now the other. Deposited checks. These are the checks that have been received from a cash sale 9,000. Check number 20. Check that has been received for rent income 7,000. A check that had been received from a debtor 6,000. So what we need to do now? Already we received, so which means we already recorded in the cash book. These three. Okay. We need to credit the cash book and we need to debit the bank account. These are the 9,000, 7,000, 6,000. Is it clear? Right. So other than that, these are the check issued check. What are the issued checks? To pay creditor 16,000, to pay creditor 15,000, to pay salary 15,000, for purchase 25,000, which means we should credit all the things credit side. Bank account credit. When we balance it, can you tell me the higher value side? Higher value side debit or credit? It's credit 56,000. Okay? So we need to write it in the lower value side as well. So once we balance the lower value side total, the balance brought forward, balance carried down debit side for 14,000, balance brought forward, credit side 14,000. One opening balance එක debit side එකේ තිබ්බා, closing balance එක තියෙන්නේ කොහෙද? Credit side. Means this is an overdraft. Understand? Which means business of 14,000 to the bank. Right? Within 2 weeks we should settle. I think it's really easy. Now again, there was an activity. Okay, activity 2. This is also very much easy to use. Shall we do this one now? Then we can wind up the bank overdraft part. Okay. Activity 2. Space available in my tute. Space available in my tute for activity 2. Okay. Activity 2, page number 121. It's in tute, page number 30. Tute 30. 30 now. 30. Right. Alright. So you can do this. Okay, let's start. Viran carried out a business of sales of textile. What is the business? Sales of textile. He can obtain a bank overdraft of rupees 100,000 as he maintains his current account in an orderly manner for a long period of time. Long period. Then එයාට maximum කීයක් වෙනකන් overdraft එක bank එක දෙනවද? Maximum up to 100,000. He had a bank balance of 15,000 in his bank account as at 1st June, January, February, March, April, May. It's May, right? May 2022. Okay. Quickly come to the bank account. So in the date column, you can write 2023 May. Okay. In date column, write 2023 May. මං ඉවරලා ෆොටෝ එකක් දාන්න එතකම මං කියන එක අහගෙන ලියා ගන්න. 2023 May. Right? So May 1st, it was a favorable balance, right? It was a favorable balance. In here they haven't mentioned this is like the overdraft, right? So in here we should consider this 5,000 as a favorable balance. So balance brought forward in debit side 45,000. If it is a overdraft, balance brought forward in debit side or credit side? Credit side. Balance brought forward. Write it, I'll share it to you. Following transactions were carried out through his current account during the month of May. These are the May transactions. What are the May transactions? First one, deposit. Lazy in them done now, right? Checks, cash rupees 14,000 May 2nd. So May 2nd, cash 14,000. Quickly come to the debit side. No need to prepare a cash book. May 2nd, cash book. Cash book. It's rupees 15,000. Debit side 15. I'll send the picture. Done. Now, other than that, May 11th, check deposited 15,000. And May 21st, check deposited 60,000, which means we already had received these things. It's in the opening balance. Okay. Now in here, opening balance is in the cash book, not in the bank account. Okay. Here, no any information regarding the cash book. So cash book credit, bank account debit, right? So cash book 15,000, June, May 11th. Cash book 15,000. 15,000 again? Yes, again 15,000. Opening, sorry, it's පළවෙනි එක 14,000 නේ. පළවෙනි එක 14,000, sorry. The first one should be 14,000. It's wrong. Which means May 2nd should be 14,000. In here 15,000. Correct it, I'll send it. So other than that, check deposited 16,000. Again, it's May 21st. May 21st, 16,000. check issued, these are the issued check. දැන් ඉතින් මේ ඔක්කොම කොහෙද එන්න ඕනේ? bank account එකේ credit side එක, right? So you can write to Fernando a creditor of rupees 12,000, right? Of rupees how much? 12,000, right? So you need to credit the bank account stating creditor Fernando fifth, how much? It's 12,000. Creditor Fernando. Done. To pay salary of rupees 20,013, so you know salary account debit 20,000 salary account. Done. Then the other one, to pay rent of rupees 10,000 18th rent account, it's rupees 18,000, right? 10,000. It's 10,000. So it's 10,000. Right? Okay. 22nd, to purchase goods for 34,000, you know, purchase account debit. 22nd, 34. Second, you know, purchase account 34,000. Right? So all the things already have been recorded. Okay? So all the deposited checks were added and all the issued checks were deducted from the bank current account of the bank. Right? Required, enter the transactions above in the bank account and balance it off. Indicate the overdraft. First one, we need to find the balance, we need to balance it off. Okay? Once we balance it, can you tell me which side is the higher side? How much? No, more than 34,000 should be, because total, I need the total. Credit side total. First we should get the total. 12,000 plus 20,000 plus 10,000 plus 34. It's 12,000 plus 20,000 plus 10,000 plus 34, which means 76,000. Am I correct? Is it correct, guys? The total is credit side 76,000. So 76,000. Debit side total 45 plus 14 plus 15 plus 16, which means debit side dekane higher side dekane. ඔය වැරදිද ලිව්වා මොනවා හරි amounts මොනවා හරි. Which side is the higher side? Opening there was a 45,000. Am I correct? Yes, opening there was a 45,000, right? 14,000, 15,000, 16,000 debit side. 14,000, 15,000, 16,000 debit side. Credit side 12,000, 20,000, 10,000, 34,000. So 12,000. Yes. So the higher value side is not the credit side, debit side. In here, balance brought forward in debit side. This is not an overdraft. Understand? So when it comes to debit side, 45,000 plus 14,000 plus 15,000 plus 16,000, which means 90,000. 90,000. It's 19,000 with debit side total. 90,000. Credit side total, we took it as I think 76,000, right? So 76,000, which means 14,000, right? 12,000 plus 20,000 plus 10,000 minus 34 means 76. When May 31st, balance carried down, right? June 1st, balance brought forward how much? 14,000 in debits. Okay, so I'm going to send a picture to the group up to now. If you need, you can record it. What did it send? Check it. Right, now the other one. Second one, indicate the balance overdraft if he had issued a check on 25th May 2023 for 45,000 for the purchase of equipment. Except these transactions, check, just think again he issued 14,000 minus 25,000, right? අර second එකේ තියෙන කීයද කියලා බලන්න. එතන in here 45,000, right? Now 14,000 minus 45,000 කීයද? 14,000 තමයි දැන් balance එක තිබ්බේ. තේරෙනවද? එයා කියනවා 45,000 උත් ඒගොල්ලෝ check එකක් ගත්තා නා මේ මොනවා හරි issue කරා. balance එක 14,000 තිබිලා 45,000 check එකක් issue කරා නම් overdraft how much? 31,000, right? So you can write in second, balance available $14,000. Now issued a check for equipment on date is 25th. Minus issued for equipment 45,000. Once we deduct it, overdraft how much? 31,000. So yes, he is eligible for the overdraft. Why? He can obtain overdraft up to 100,000, right? Okay, I already sent a picture. Right? You already sent a picture. බලන්න මම වෙලාවට වැඩනේ මේකත් ඉවර 11:30. Okay, right, this is almost done. Now the second part. What is the second part? Bank reconciliation. And before that, make sure there is another homework. Do this as a homework. Okay, there are 6, 7, 8. Understand these things as a homework. Now this is the important part, bank reconciliation, right? Bank reconciliation. I think still screen matters, right? Okay, I'm going to shut down and find it what has happened. Okay, so let's start 11:45, right? We have again 14 minutes, 15 minutes break, right? So come back at 11:45. From 11:45 to 12:30, I'm going to do the bank reconciliation part. Understand? Right? Okay, this is very much important. First, today I'm going to give the idea. Okay, Monday I'm going to finish it, right? Okay, guys. Okay, guys, let's start. Welcome back. Now, again, I'm going to start the new part. So, attached to bank account. Okay, bank reconciliation statement. This is the very much important part. Most of you guys always telling, sir, this is very much hard. I can't understand. Can you repeat it again? Right? So, because of that, so we need to have a clear idea about bank reconciliation statement. We have only 40 minutes. I can't fully finish. Understand? Today I am not going to do any calculations. I am not going to give you the idea, only the idea. Okay, all the things included in my tube. Okay. Bank reconciliation statement. I think now the whiteboard is clear to you. Is it clear to you guys? Right? Is it clear to you? Not whiteboard, this is a smart board. Is it clear to you? Yes or no? Silver? Tamati? Pinasakam? Dang hondai? Kalitam? Right? Okay. Right. So bank reconciliation statement. I'm not going to touch the textbook. I'm going to do only the. You need to have a clear idea. First of all, you need to have a clear idea how we record the transactions. Okay. And not only that, you need to have a clear idea how bank record the transactions. Is it clear to you? First of all, you need to have a clear idea and you need to know how we record the transactions, and not only that, how bank record the transaction. ඔය දෙකේ වෙනස ඔයා identify කරගන්න ඕනේ. තේරුණාද? Right? How we record the transactions and how bank record the transaction. It's in here. Okay. How the transactions are recorded in bank account, business and bank statement. Right? What is the principle we use? Asset principle. Okay. What is the bank use? Liability principle. Right? So it's my own note. Huh? Now you know in business side, if balance brought forward in debit side, which means it's a favorable balance. There is a money in the bank. Bank pe salli. From our point of view, we already discussed balance brought forward debit, credit, which means if balance brought forward in credit, which means it's an overdraft. Okay, business having a liability to settle to the bank. Is it clear to you? This is all about overdraft. But when it comes to bank perspective, liability change, principle change. Bank using liability principle. Understand? Right? Final debit balance. Now, okay? Right? In business side, debit balance means favorable balance. In bank side, when liability decreases its debit, you know, okay, if it is a debit balance, which means business owe money to the bank, if bank statement balance they brought forward in debit side, ඒ කියන්නේ බැංකුවේ පැත්තේ තියෙන debit side balance එකක් නම් ඒ කියන්නේ overdraft එක. හැබැයි අපේ පැත්තේ නම් ඒක credit balance. ඇයි අපේ පැත්තේ asset principle එකක් නේ, asset decrease කියන්නේ credit, liability decrease කියන්නේ debit. තේරෙනවද? If the final balance is credit, මොකද balance brought forward කියන්නේ මොකද bank statement එකේ BBF එකක් නෙමෙයිනේ. So the bank prepared using statement format. You can understand it in here. Okay? Final credit balance. Bank maintain business cash. There is money in the bank. Understand? Right. So I'm going to tell you. You can understand it using this example. Right. Quickly come to the next part in the tube. This part. Right. This is my business. So I'm having my bank account. Understand? This is my bank. What is my bank? BOC, think Nugegoda branch. Understand? So what is the principle which we use? Asset. You can write it asset in here. What is the principle which bank use? Liability principle. Okay. Is it clear to you? You can record, you should record it. Right. Now we need to have a comparison. දැන් සාමාන්‍යයෙන් closing balance tally වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි මම මෙතන ඔයගලන්ට තීරුම් ගන්න ඕන වෙන්නේ ටිකක් කියලා දෙන්නේ මේක. Right? First one. Think if our balance brought forward balance 5,000 in debit side, which means it's a favorable balance, which means 5,000 in my bank account. From bank point of view, that balance should be recorded as what? Credit balance. කියන්නේ account එකේ සල්ලි තියෙනවා. තේරෙනවද? අපි month end එකේ balance කරාට bank එක හැම transaction එකකින් transaction එකට මොකද කරන්නේ? Balance. තේරෙනවද? තේරෙනවද? Okay, I'm going to write this one. After දැන් හිතන්න මේකේ record වෙන ඔක්කොම මේකේ record වුණා කියලා just assume it. No any differences. Okay. Now how bank recorded, how business recorded, and how bank recorded. After October 1st, then October 2nd, electricity 300 means issued a check, 300 worth of check for our electricity. Okay. When we issue a check, now my bank should pay. මගේ bank එක pay කරන්න. කියන opening තිබිලා තියෙන favorable balance එක. මගේ debit credit side එකට නම් bank එකේට check එක කවුරු ගෙනලා දුන්නාම bank එක සල්ලි ගෙවුවා නම් කොයි පැත්තේ තියෙන්නේ? Debit side එකයි. When liability decreases, it's debit. So this 300 should be in which side? Debit. Now it's 4,700 again credit balance. Hey, සල්ලි තියෙන. තේරෙනවද? 4,300. Clear? Then October 5th, deposit a check received from a debtor. How much? 100. Should be on the same date. Debtor account එකටනේ කෙලින්ම ගිහිල්ලා දෙන cash book එකට ගිහිල්ලා නැහැ. Right? 100 rupees. 100 rupees. එහෙමනම් it should be, if we record it in debit side, in bank statement should be in credit side. Bank liability increases, our asset increases, it's 100. Now this should be 4,800. Why? We should add this 100. I'm making it a balance. 5,000 minus 300 means 4,700. 4,700 minus 100 means 4,800. Again, it's credit. Another two. October 6th, issue rupees 3,000 to a creditor. Creditor check එකක් දුන්නා නම් credit ඇවිල්ලා අපේ account එකෙන් අඩු කරගන්නවනේ නේද? check එක දීලා. If it is a credit side, which means a payment, it should be recorded in which side? Debit side. Okay. 3,000. No need to write. If you need, you can write the description as well. 3,000. 4,800 minus 3,000, which 1,800. I'm going to record it. Why? We need to get more calculation. Means 4,800 minus 3,000 means 1,800. Right? This is the balance available. Right? 1,000 available. Balance how much? Credit balance. Terunada. Again, I issued a check for payment. Even shall we write the dates in here? Description column. This 300. You can write for electricity. So in here you can write this is for from debtor. In here this one for paid for creditor. Final one, purchase. Which means we issue them. මෙහෙම බැංකුවේ වන්න නැහැ. බැංකුව දන්නේ නැහැ මොනවාටද කියලා. ඒ name the check number. Okay. දැන් මට කියන්න. Can you tell me the balance in here? 1,800. Understand? But I issued a check how much? 2,000. So there should be an overdraft. How much? 200. So bank I think here 200. So final 200 should be in here with credit or debit. It's debit, which means in here liability decrease, it's debit. So this debit means what? overdraft. But if debits overdraft bank side එකේ මොකක්ද? debit නම් අපේ side එකේ මොකක් වෙන්නද? overdraft එක. credit. Though the opening balance was a favorable balance, closing balance, it's an unfavorable balance. It's an unfavorable, right? Which means overdraft, which means business liable to the bank. Is it clear to you? Are you okay up to now? This is how business record and bank. But the pathetic situation always closing balances won't help. Why? Because of the difference. Right? දැන් ඔයා දන්නවා කොහොමද දෙගොල්ලෝ රෙකෝඩ් කරන්න කියලා. මම මුලින්ම කියලා දුන්නේ මොකද්ද? කොහොමද දෙගොල්ලෝ රෙකෝඩ් කරන්නේ. Right? Now you know how we record and how bank record. You know how we now think we deposit 1,000 in the bank. So in our business side, how we record? Debit side in the bank account, but we can identify that 1,000 in credit side of the bank. Why? When we deposit cash, bank liability increases. දැන් ඔයාට people's bank account එකක් තියෙනවා නම් message එන්නේ. account එකට සල්ලි වැටෙනොත් people's bank එකේ වෙනවා your account has been credited. account එකෙන් සල්ලි කැපුණොත් people's bank එකේ වෙනවා your account has been debited. දැන් උඹලා මෙච්චර කාලයක් එක දැනන්ද message එක බැලුවේ? නෑ. මේ දැන් හදිසියවත් අම්මැව්වොත් මේ මොකද්ද මේ ඇවිල්ලා තිනවා your account has been debited 1,000 කියලා. දැන් ඔයත් දන්නේ බැංකුවටම ගිහලා කෝල් එකක් දීලා තමයි අහන්නේ. දන්නේ people's bank එකේ වන්නේ debit to credit එක. ඉතින් දන්නේ නැහැ නේ උඹලා වැඩක් නැහැ නේ බලන්නේ නැහැ නේ මොකක්ද. ඉතින් අද උදේ මට message එකක් කියවලා තියෙනවා rupees 250 debited from account. ඒක අපිට තියෙන fee for SMS එක. SMS දෙවනකොට ඒගොල්ලන්ට charge එකක් ගන්නවනේ. This is for this 250 for SMS එක. හැම එකටම SMS එක ඒකට ගාන කපා. හැම එකටම කපා ගන්න බෑ බලන්න. තමයි right? So bank reconciliation statement. So this debit means deduct, but in our side deposit, right? So you have already studied how the transactions are recorded in the bank account which are carried out through the current account of the business. The favorable balance of the bank account of the business is an asset account of the business. Transactions should be recorded in the bank account according to the double entry principle for assets. The transactions which increase the balance in the bank account are debited, and the transactions which decrease the bank balance should be credited to the bank account. Is it clear to you guys? I think you are okay up to here, right? Let us study how transactions are recorded in the books of commercial banks which maintains a current account on behalf of the business. The bank also recorded in its own books to the transactions of the business operated through the current account by a business. The account is maintained by the bank. The account that is maintained by the bank of the business is treated as a liability account of the bank. Understand? So bank treated as a liability. Therefore, the bank record the transactions of the business according to the double entry principle of liability. Accordingly, transaction that increase the bank balance should be credited and transaction that decrease the balance should be debited. Accordingly, let us study how a bank has recorded few bank transactions of the business in its book. See the statement below. Then bank එක ledger accounts ගන්න නැහැ. bank එක ගවන්නේ system එකේ. system එකේ ledger accounts නැහැ. statement format එකෙන් තියෙනවා. See. Cash deposit we can identify in which side? Credit side. Check deposit, credit side. Check payments, debit side. Direct remittances, I told you. Direct deposits are call කරලා කියන්නේ hello සල්ලි දැම්ම කියලා. අර මං කිව්ව අම්පාරේ ඉන්න එක්කෙනාට check එකක් දෙන්න නැතුව account number එකට deposit කරනවා. So we can identify in which side? Credit side. Right? Bank charges, debit side. Checkbook charges, SMS alerts, all the things in debit side. Right? So charges now in here it's wrong. Why? No, it's correct. Bank charges, checkbook charges is the final balance. Right? The values which are debited to the bank account that is maintained by the business are credited by the bank in the account maintained by the bank. The values which are credited by the business in the bank account are debited by the bank in the account. Finally, there is a debit balance in the bank account maintained by the business, there will be a credit balance in the bank account maintained by the bank for the business. If it is debit side in our side, our bank, right? සබ්දයක් කියනද? විශාල සබ්දයක් කියනද? නැහැ. නැහැ. නැහැ තමයි. හරි. හරි. මොනවද ඕගොල්ලෝ එක්ක යන්නේ ඇවිල්ලා. හරි. එතකොට අපේ ඩෙබිට් සයිඩ් නම් බැංකුවේ තියෙනන කොහෙද? ක්‍රෙඩිට් සයිඩ් එකේ. right? අපේ ක්‍රෙඩිට් නම් තියෙන බැංක් එකේ ඩෙබිට්. දැන් කියන්න in our side it's a debit balance, which means a favorable balance. Bank statement should be credit balance. In our side, if it is a credit balance, which means unfavorable balance, which means an overdraft. From bank point of view, it should be a debit balance, right? Bank statement. Usually, banks send a statement called bank statement to their current account holders once a month, not only once a month. So, දැන් මේක වැරදි අතර. දැන් ඔයා දන්නවද කෝප් දැන් සමහර බිස්නස් වල තියෙනවා සම්පත් විශ්ව කෝපරේට් ඇප් කියලා. ඇප් එකට ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් වෙලා මට ඕන වෙලාවක ස්ටේට්මන්ට් ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කරගන්න. දැන් ඔයාට මාසෙ අන්තිම වෙනකන් ඉන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. මට අදේව අද ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කරන්න. විනාඩියට ඕන ආසාවට නම් තප්පරෙන් තප්පරට ස්ටේට්මන්ට් ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කරගන්න. ඇයි? Now they allow you to enter the bank website and or the app, so then we can download the statement at any time, anyhow. So nowadays it's not once a month. The bank statement shows the opening balance which opening balance items which are debited and credited by the bank during the month and the closing balance, which means now if bank credited, which means deposited, bank debited, which means deducted, understand, which means issue. At present, banks send a computer printouts to the business that hold a current account. The statement that is sent by the bank is known as the bank statement or the statement of accounts. Examine the following bank statement carefully. දැන් මෙතන ගොඩක් වැදගත්. මම මේක පෙන්නන්න ඕන නිසා මේ ගත්ත බලන්න opening balance එක තියෙනවා. Now in here you need to know this payments means debit or credit, guys. Debit or credit? Payment means it's a debit. It's a debit transaction. Is it clear to you? DR. If you need, you can write. In here, receipts means credit. Credit. DR. If it is debit, payments means DR. Right? Receipt means CR. Now, can you tell me, opening there was a debit balance, which means in here debit balance means our side, credit balance. Opening order pay na the opening the balance එක මොකක්ද? DR. Opening තිබිලා තියෙන්නේ මොකක්ද? Overdraft. Then can you remember? Opening DR means what? Overdraft. In bank point of view, DR means when liability decreases its debit, which means opening there was an overdraft. Understand? Then හොඳට තේරුම් ගන්න. මෙන්න මේක වැදගත් නිසා මම වෙනම ගත්තා. Now August 1st cash deposit 13,000. When we deposit 13,000 now, value not increase by bank එක මේ overdraft එකේ මේ ගාන කපාගෙන ඉතුරු ගාන ආයෙ වෙන්න. මම කියන දෙන්න. Opening තිබ්බේ overdraft එක කීයද? 34,000. 13,000 deposit කරාම overdraft එක අඩු වෙනවා කීයටද? 21,000. තේරුණාද? right? Again now then overdraft එක කාලයක් තියෙනවා එහෙම ප්‍රශ්නයක්. We can maintain overdraft not only for the single time, we can maintain the overdraft at least for 1 week, 2 week bank allow. But when it comes to penalty and interest, much higher, right? So now in here again, August 1st, there was a payment for a check, 39,000. Again, our overdraft increased from 21 plus to 60,000 from this 39,000. Is it clear? Right? Again, overdraft increase. Then the next transaction. What is the next transaction? ආද මන්ද කුණු හarp ටික cash deposit දෙකක් තියෙනවා මොනවද cash deposits ඊළඟ දෙක. ඒතර deposit කරන්න overdraft එක මොකද වෙන්නේ? අඩු. 60,000 again decrease to 50,000, then 43,000. Then there was another payment 20,000, overdraft increase up to 64,000. Now after that deposits we can identify what? We can identify different deposits. බාන්න මෙන්න මෙතනින් pass. 45,000 overdraft was there. Deposit 5,000, then overdraft decrease up to 40,000. Again deposited 12,000, overdraft decrease up to 28,000. Can you remember? Can you see this again? Now again we deposit 29,000. Now no more overdraft. Okay. Now then credit balance එකක් නේ සාමාන්‍ය බැංකුව ලියන්නේ නැහැ credit balance එක. If it is a debit balance, bank it specifically mentioned. Understand? If it is a debit balance, bank specifically mentioned, but if it is a credit balance, they don't mention it. Understand? දැන් බලන්න overdraft එක අඩු වෙලා සල්ලි තියෙනවා කොච්චරද? 545. Now again when we deposit increase, again from here there was overdraft. Can you remember? Balance available 12,000. Issued a check 25,000. Then balance again increase up to 12,000 from overdraft. Understand? Right? So in here when now no more overdraft. Likewise you can understand. Right? This is the bank state. Okay? Isn't this clear? If bank side debit means it's an overdraft, it's bank side credit means it's a deposit. Understand? ඔනෝක ටෙක්ස්ට් එකේ තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඕක ගොඩක් ඉම්පෝටන්ට් ගොඩක් අය ඕක නිකන් දැක්කාම ඇහැට අහක බලාගෙන යනවා බලන්නේ නැහැ මොකක්ද. තේරෙනවද? ඒක දැක්කනම් තේරෙන්න ඕනේ මොකක්ද ඒ තියෙන්නේ. Right. Is it clear to you? Send me a thumbs up. The overdraft concept. Right. So this is very much important. You should be able to observe bank transactions now. Right. Now, right. It's in MyTute as well. Just the same screenshot. Huh? You can observe same thing, right? In MyTute as well. Just observe and understand. Again blurring, right? Right? Okay. The bank account of the business shows the cash at the bank when balancing off its bank account. Understand? When we balancing off the bank account, it shows the cash at the bank. Understand? The bank statement sent by the bank shows the money at the bank of the business according to the books of the bank. Understand? Right? If both parties had recorded all the transactions related to the current account, these two balances should be similar. Can you remember our first example? Right? But normally, right? In practice, however, in practice, the bank account balances of the business and the balance in the bank statement may differ. The reason for this difference, is that certain transactions which have been recorded in the bank account are not recorded in the bank statement, and certain other transactions recorded in the bank statement are not recorded in the bank account of the business. Understand? Is it clear to you? There are several reasons. How many reasons are there? There are 5 reasons. Okay, there are how many reasons? 5 reasons. Let's discuss it briefly today. I'm going to discuss it in detail next week. දැන් මගේ ටියුට් එක ලස්සනට තියෙනවා. ඒතර බලා ගන්න මොකක්ද කියලා. The reason for the difference between the final balance of the bank account and the final balance of the bank statement. Is it clear to you guys? Now ඔන්න ඔය ටික නැත්තම් මුකුත් කරන්න බෑ. Okay, think this is business. This is what? This is bank. Bank send my bank statement. This is my bank account. Is it clear? First one. I issued 1,000 worth of a check to a creditor. Understand? Right? දැන් මට කියන check එකේ validity period එක මොකක්ද? 6 months. මම issue කරේ October 1st. ඌ හිතන් ඉන්නවා මම December යනවා දැම්ම මට සල්ලි හදිස්සිය. October 31st වෙන statement එකේ ඒක තියෙන්න ඕනේ මොන side එකේද? debit side එකේ. deduct වුණා. තේරුණාද? ඌ මාසේ අන්තිම වෙනකම් බැංකුවට ගිහිල්ලා නැත්තම් debit side එකේ තියෙනවා. මම check එක ලියලා දෙද්දිම credit කරනවා. එයා කවද කියත් මට ප්‍රශ්නයක්. මම දන්නේ නැහැ නේ එයා කවද ඇයිද කියලා මට කියන්න බෑනේ හෙටම බලෙන්. තේරුණාද? ඌ නොගියොත් මට වාසි. මම දන්නේ නැහැ කවද ඇයිද. Right? When we issue a check, why we credit it? That's why I put a correction mark in here. Understand? But in here, if we not presented it to the bank, my bank balance will not decrease. Understand? Because of that, there is a difference. Mama credit karala, bank ko debit karala. Understand? I credited from my business. Okay, but I can't identify it in the debit side of the. We call it as, what is the reason? This 1,000 issued but not presented to the bank for payment. Understand? Issued but not presented to the bank for payment. We can identify it credit side of the bank account, okay, but not in the debit side of the bank statement. Some of the these checks issued by the business may have not been presented to the bank for encashment even at the end of the period. Okay? Now you need to tell me a scenario. Now you need to tell me. දැන් මට කියන්න මේ රීසන් එක නිසා month end එකේදී කාගේ balance එකද වැඩි වෙන්නේ? business එකේ balance එකද bank statement එකේ balance? business එකේ balance එකද වැඩි වෙන්නේ? bank statement එකේ balance එකද වැඩි? bank එකේ ඇයි? In our side, you know, plus side is in our side, in our point of view, in our point of view, you know, in our point of view, minus side is credit side, right? And increase side is debit side. Is it clear to you? In our point of view, right? But in bank point of view, you know, bank point of view, you can write this up, you can mention this up. In bank point of view, higher value side is which, maybe increase side is credit, decrease side is debit. Understand? Is it clear to you? In our side, increase side is debit, decrease side is credit. In bank side, decrease side is debit, increase side is credit. We made a decrease. Okay? Bank එක decrease එකක් කරලා තියෙනවා. කාගේ value එකද වැඩි වෙන්නේ? Bank එකේ value එක month end එකේදී වැඩි. තේරෙනවද? So in here you need to mention මම මේ පොඩි දෙයකට තිබ්බේ. කාගේ value එකද වැඩි වෙන්නේ? Bank statement balance is higher than bank account. Understand? Bank statement value is higher than bank account. Is it clear to you guys? Because of this one, issued but not presented to the bank for payment. Which statement is higher? Our bank account higher or bank statement higher? Bank statement is higher. We credited. අපි deduct කරලා තියෙනවා. bank එක debit කරලා. ඔය recent විතරයි කතා කරන්නේ. තව 10 minutes more. Okay, දැන් මේ ටික නැත්තම් පුතේ ඉස්සරහා බෑ කම්මැලි වෙන්නේ නැතුව අහගන්න. මේක important. Only 10 minutes more. මේ පහ හොඳට තේරුම් ගන්න. Second, what is the second? So this 5,500, which means in here, this is our deposits. Understand? 1,500 deposit. But we can't identify this in the credit side. What is the reason? Dragan. This happens most of the time when we deposit checks at the end of the month. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මට හිතන්න මට දෙනවා වෙනුජ චෙක් එකක්. වෙනුජගේ බැංක් එක තියෙන්නේ සම්පත් නුගේගොඩ බැංක් බ්‍රාන්ච්. මගේ account එක තියෙන්නේ BOC නුගේගොඩ branch. වෙනිජුවක බැංක් එකයි මගේ බැංක් එකයි බැංක්ස් දෙකක් නේද? right? අපි දෙන්න එකම බැංක් එකේ නම් වෙනිජ උදේ මට සල්ලි චෙක් එක දුන්නොත් මම එදාම ඩිපොසිට් කරුවා මට හවස සල්ලි වැටෙනවා. same bank නේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් නෑ. It won't take time. Okay? But when it comes to if both parties are from different banks, Lanka clearance combined. So ඒකට යනවා දවස් දෙකක් අඩු. ඒතර මම 30 ඩිපොසිට් කරපු එකකට සල්ලි වැටෙන්නේ මට කවද? පළ. තේරෙනවද? ඒතර මම චෙක් එක බැංක් එකට දෙද්දිම මොකද කරලා තියෙන්නේ? ඩෙබිට් කරලා තියෙනවා. Okay? Since it's month end, it's not identifying the credit side of the bank statement. We call it as what is the reason? The checks deposited but not yet realized. Understand? Right? ගිහිලා දීලා තියෙන counter එකට දීලා තියෙන. Checks that were deposited may have not been realized by the end of the time. Can tell me which balance is higher than because of this reason. අපි addition side එකේ දාලා bank එකේ addition side එකේ තියෙනවා නෑනේ. This is in our addition side. Understand? This is in our addition side. Is it clear? But not in bank's addition side. Whose balance is higher? Our balance is higher than the bank statement. You can write it. Which balance is higher? Our balance is higher than bank statement. Because of this. Photo පුරවන්න තියෙන්නේ නේද? SOS කරනවාගේ එන පොඩි වැඩ ලොකු දෙයක්. Right? Third reason. දැන් මම අර කිව්වනේ මතකද මං අම්පාරේ ඉන්න කෙනෙක්ට කියනවා සල්ලි දාන්න. දන්න දැන් අපි ඉන්නේ තාම ගල් යුගයේ අපිට ස්ටේට්මන්ට් මුකුත් දෙන්නේ මන්ත් එන්ඩ් එකේ මැසේජ් එන්නේ නැහැ මුකුත් නැහැ. හරිද? මට කෝල් එකක් දීලා කියනවා හලෝ මම 2000 ඩිපොසිට් කරා කියලා. දැන් මං ඌ කෝල් එක දීලා මට කිව්ව ගමන්ම මං ඩෙබිට් කරන්න බෑ හදිස්සිය දාලා නැහැ. පුරුවන්නම් කියනවාද කියන්නේ? I can verify it once I receive the bank statement. Till that I should wait. Understand? So we can identify credit side of the bank statement, but we not recorded in debit side of the bank. Understand? We call it as what is the reason? Direct remittances. Can you tell me which side is high? We not recorded in addition side, but we can identify addition side of the bank statement. So bank statement balance is higher than our business side because of this one. Bank statement balance is higher than our business transfer balance. මේ difference එකට reasons තේරෙනවද? Right. The other one. Fourth one. Payment on standing orders. දැන් මම written request එකක් දෙනවා. හැම month එකේම මගේ account එකෙන් 500 deduct කරලා rent මගේ insurance account එකට මගේ insurance company එකට දෙන්න කියලා. මට දැන් ඕක හැම මාසෙම මතක් වෙනවා. මම දකින්න statement එක ආවට පස්සේ. We can identify once bank deducted my funds, it's in the debit side, but I haven't recorded in credit side of the bank account. Okay, so which side is higher, bank account or bank statement? Bank statement එක deduction එකක් කළා තියෙනවා. අපි deduction එකක් කළා නෑ. ඒතකොට අපේ පැත්තේ වැඩි. බැංකුව deduction එකක් කළානේ තියෙන්නේ. තේරෙනවද? So bank account balance is higher than bank statement balance. Why? And made a deduction. Okay? So since they made a deduction, bank account balance is higher than bank statement balance. Understand? Because in here you can find. So we haven't done a deduction, right? So in bank side they made a deduction. Okay, that's why correction marking. So bank account balance is higher than bank statement. අපි අඩු කිරීමක් කළා නැහැ කියන අපිට favorable දෙන්න. Next one. Bank charges, checkbook charges. කෝල් කර කර කියන්නේ නැහනේ. හලෝ 150ක් කපා ගත්තා තරහ නැහැ නේද කියලා කියන්නේ. තේරෙනවද? එයා කෙලින්ම මොකද කරන්නේ? ඩෙබිට් කරනවා. ඕකේ. අපි දැනගන්නේ ස්ටේට්මන්ට් එක ආවට පස්සේ. ඒකට අපි ඩිඩක්ෂන් එකක් කරලා තියෙනවද ක්‍රෙඩිට් සයිඩ් එකේ? කාගේ බැලන්ස් එකද වැඩි? bank account balance එක වැඩි. So bank account balance is higher than bank statement balance. Similar like to the previous one, bank account balance is higher than bank statement. Okay. Now you know the different scenarios. What are the scenarios? Issued but not presented to the bank for payment. මම මේක ලස්සනට මගේ ඔය කොහෙන්වත් බලන්න මේ මම්මයි නෝට් එක හැදුවා. තේරෙනවද? ඔය කොහෙන්වත් බලන්නේ මම්මයි හිතලා ඔය මොම දාලා හැදුවේ. Right? So some of these checks issued by the business have not been presented to the bank for encashment even at the end of the period. The checks deposited but not realized. Checks that were deposited may have not been realized by the end of the time period. Direct remittances. What is the term called direct remittances? A business realizes such direct remittances after the receipt of the bank statement. Although such direct depositors have been recorded as receipt in the bank statement, they have not been recorded in the bank account of the business. Payment on standing orders. An order made to the bank in writing by the business to pay certain regular amounts. The business gets no of these payments after receiving the bank statement. Bank charges and checkbook charges. The charges that a bank deducted from the current account for the service rendered by the business to the current account holders. දැන් බලන්න මම කියුවේ your account has been debited කියලා මට ආවුදේ 250. හැබැයි මම මේක දැන් අපිට message SMS වල තියෙන නිසා ප්‍රශ්නයක්. ඉස්සරේම නෑ. We concerned about manual accounts, right? Now this is the homework. Study this and come back. Understand? And do the other homeworks, right? So next week දැන් බලන්න normally balance එක tally වෙන්නේ නෑ. month end එකේ මම ඇයි කියලා පෙන්නන්නම්. So next Monday, I'm going to prepare the bank reconciliation statement. See, for an example, think about this one. This is our business balance brought forward how much? 29,000. But bank balance how much? 24,500. hari aasa hitana meva karana. We should find the differences and we need to tally it. I'll tell you how to tally it. Okay. Now this is the end. That is enough for today, right? It's almost 12:28. දැන් ඉතින් මන්ඩේ වෙනකන් ඉන්න එපා පොඩ්ඩක් කරපු ටික බලාගෙන ඉන්න. හෝම්වර්ක් දෙක තුනක් දුන්නා කරන්න හෙට. ෆ්‍රීඩම් එකක් තියෙනවා නම්. ඒතර ඔයාලට තව ටිකක් ප්‍රැක්ටිස් වෙන්න. Monday we can finish bank reconciliations and hope you learn a lot. Okay. So make sure to join Monday 6:30. අලුතෙන් කවුරු හරි join වෙච්ච අය ඉන්නවා නම් class එකට join වෙනවා නම් මගේ number එකට හරි institute එකේ message එකේ number එකට message එකක් දාලා details අහගන්න කොහොමද කියලා කියයි. You can register to the LMS. Okay. Then you can watch previous recording as well. Okay. In our class the difference is we provide recordings to you. මන්නම් කියන එක හැමදාම මං කියන්නේ. වෙඩින් එකක් තිබ්බොත් අයියෝ class කියලා නොයා ඉන්න. යන්න. ඉස්කෝලේ ෆන්ක්ෂන් එකක් තිබ්බොත් යන්න. ඇයි උඹලට රෙකෝඩින්. ඒක ඔයා දැනගන්න ඕනේ අද ආවේ නැත්තම් ඊළඟ දවසේ එන්න කලින් මේක බලන්න. අපි අද කාලේ එහෙම මේ දැන් සමහර මන් දන්න ඉස්සර අපේ කාලේ නම් එහෙම ක්ලාස් එකක් කට් කරොත් ඉතින් තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. හිතන්න කොමර්ස් ක්ලාස් කට් කරා කියලා අම්මන්ට තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ ඊළඟ දවසේ. නිකන් පොලේ කරකෝලත් ඇරි. රෙකෝඩින් කියලා දෙයක් නැහැ. අපි ක්ලාස් එක කාලේ ඉතින් සර් බැංක් reconciliation එකේ භාගයක් ඉවර කළා නම් මං කොහොමද ඊළඟ දවසේ කියලා ස්ටඩි කරන්නේ? තේරෙන්නේ. Right? So now you have the recording facility. Okay. So you can watch it and make sure to do the homeworks and come. ඉතින් අලුතෙන් ආපු අය ඉන්නවා නම් join වෙන්න ඕන නම් විස්තර කියන්න මම කියන්නම් කොහොමද කියලා. Make sure to if you have any matter you can contact me. Okay. So within next week we can finish. ඉතින් අද ඇවිල්ලා Monday නැති ඉන්න එපා. ඒක කියලා තේරෙන්නේ නැහැ. Still you don't know how to prepare the bank reconciliation. Okay. There are two steps. First we need to prepare adjustment bank account, then we need to prepare bank reconciliation statement. So and I'm not going to discuss this one, guys. Read the notes available in the textbook. You can read the note up to here. Differences. Right. It's enough. Thank you for the participation. Let's meet on Monday. දැන් ආයි මම මේ වගේම තව එකක් කරන්න ඕන. සිංහල වීඩියෝ එක. හොඳ ගන්න. Right? Okay. බුදු සරණයි. God bless.